Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're arriving at our destination shortly.
Two in a row, baby. Two in a row. Best intro in all intros outside of the part. I'm not too sure about the first minute and 30 seconds, but that last part after the bloop, 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 man, always gets me pumped up to fly an airplane. That's for sure. Welcome to the latest episode of the Airplane Show. My name is Greg. I'm going to be your trusted internet pilot on this here episode today as we fly from beautiful Miami to beautiful Philadelphia. Philly's beautiful, parts of it. I mean, parts of any city are beautiful. But yeah, this is a real flight, American Airlines Flight 1402. I believe it has daily service from Miami to Philly. There's a new update from Bravo Airspace. I haven't flown Bravo Airspace airplane in a long time. It's been probably a year since I've been in one of their airplanes. I jumped in it yesterday just to kind of look at it, and I mean the cabin was pretty much non-existent. It did have the TV screens, but it's the tablet really caught my attention yesterday. The tablet inside the airplane. So let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's get it up in the air, and then we're actually going to watch a Tucker Carlson interview about chemtrails that he just did. I just popped up on my YouTube feed. Here's the first few seconds of it. Let me just play the first few seconds of it.
Questions that are so vigorously discouraged, and one of the questions that's been the most discouraged over the past 30 years are, what are those lines in the sky that you see trailing jets? What is that? Some people call them chemtrails, claim that somehow the U.S. government is spraying poison on the population. Those people are clearly crazy. Wikipedia
we're
calls
not
them crazy. Every news outlet calls them
I believe
crazy.
Bill Gates is associated with it too.
But the trails are still there. And it's clearly not water vapor, because that doesn't make sense at all. So what are they?
Yep. So that's what we're going to listen to. So I just saw this pop up. Me personally, I believe that Bill Gates has something to do with it, and that they're actually putting technology in the atmosphere to block the sun from shining down, because they want to get rid of carbon. They think carbon is the enemy. That's why they want to give you a carbon credit social score, where everything is no more money in any country. It's a digital currency that you're gonna have, and it's kind of like in that Black Square episode, where the better you are online and the more popular you are online, the more and the less carbon you use, like the more credit you'll have, the more you can buy things. You know, if you're not on social media and you know, it's yeah. That was behind the vaccine passport that they wanted to do. That was all part of this, the vaccine passport. Everything. So yeah, I'm not crazy. These things do exist. So anyways, let's get into flight itself. Second, let me make this full screens again. No. There we go. All right, here we are with our beautiful big bird. We got our GE engines. That's what was available. The other engines didn't have American Airlines available. The Trent engines. Got here extended takeoff. 78-8. Looks good. All right, let's get in the cockpit. Yeah, man, my co-pilot's coughing already, man. Did you take a big enough hit? That wasn't me coughing. That was the co-pilot. All right, let's see here. So that power is available. Good. They are armed. Put on our nav lights. Let's get our position entered in here. KMIA. We'll use this. This is probably close enough to where our actual position is. All right, and route, I don't think I can bring the route in from outside. There. Time forecast, data, no comm. Yeah, I don't think this is set up like Phoenix or iFly or anything where you can actually like input all that shit in here. Look at that. Follow us on American Air. That's pretty cool. What does it say? Updated for cones, shocks, and rear left side stairs. Call tower or GPU or use pushback tool. That's pretty cool. Custom views, keyboard shortcuts, lights, passenger cabin. Read change log at bravoairspace.net. The aircraft will be receiving constant updates. Patience is the key. No TAMs, no TAMs. Hey, very cool. That is very cool. That was very nice. I like when the devs do that kind of thing. All right, so we have briefing. Let's see here. I thought I set all this up yesterday. Navigraph should be, yeah, Navigraph is good. Service. Cabin. Oh, look at this. Cool. Alright, so got that. Thing. Not sure why this isn't. Can't hit the enter button. There's a take. Cabin. Service. Navigraph I did set up yesterday. Does have an on-screen keyboard. Okay, not bad. We're right down here, by the way, Concourse F. All right, now let's go back to briefing. I don't know why working here, unless I need to put my info in over here somewhere, but I didn't see where to put that in. Let me see here. Systems. Nope. List comes. Use settings page to log in. Where the fuck is the settings page at? Use settings page. Log in. Settings page. Oh, wait a minute. What does this say here? Wait a minute. All right, maybe it's the settings page. I mean, if I can't get it connected, I can't get it connected, but like, I sure would like to. Look, got my little cell phone there. That's cool. All right, let's try, see if we can find a settings page here. I wonder if it's down here we have to do it. I use this one. Gonna be any of this. Guess we can get on their website and figure it out. There's no settings page to enter it in. I've been through everything. Definitely not anything here. There's no settings page here. Maintenance, door. Yeah, it wouldn't be in here. That wouldn't make sense. Wouldn't make sense there either. Let's look at this tablet one last time. I don't see a settings page anywhere. Here's top of descent. Operable, then we have our cabin. We have that's inoperable. That's inoperable. Nowhere to put. Oh, wait a minute. Is there a settings? What about that gear right here? Ah, very good. All right, send brief ID. I think it means my numbers. 668. Let's see if that's it now. Unless it's asking for like the... Oh, there we go. All right, very good. All right, so the briefing will have plan in here. How do we scroll through it? Oh, okay, so we have to go over here. That I'm not a big fan of. They should allow us to click and drag it up if we want to. You know what I mean? Instead of using this here. This doesn't even really work that well. Looks like you have to click and drag this. Oh, well, that's not too bad if you click and drag this. All right, very good. So we have that, so that works now. Then we have Navigraph. There's our METAR information, very good. Right from Navigraph, services, fuel service. Very cool. All right, well, now that we got that, let's go ahead and I think I can change all the fuel and shit now. Hang on a second. Get our tablet out. Plan. Fetch. Payload. Block of fuel should be about 40,000. The aircraft. Goes. Flight performance. Mass and balance. Fuel. So about 404,000 pounds. Oh, no, that's total mass. Let's see. Gallons per pound. About 40,000. Not much for this airplane. So let's leave that. Load that in the aircraft. Cargo, we have 8,700 pounds. Fine. Board is 2,000. Okay, so we'll do. Guess we could fill. Cargo is about. Alright, that's close enough. And seats. What's our total mass here? Our takeoff weight is 342. Alright, close enough. Load an aircraft. Aircraft and fuel should be very good. Now our fuel shows it here, 40,000 pounds. Let me just bring our flight plan in this tablet here, and we'll get clearance to back up and get out of here. Import file, load from PC, go down to downloads, pull it in, push it out, move it all about. Alright, that's all done, and we are looking for 41,000 feet to. Okay, let's get the APU turned on. Alright, let's get our flight pulled in here. No, don't you do that. No, I thought we did it right. Is there a settings page here? We did enter it incorrect. Maybe we need to restart the airplane. Let's restart the airplane. If it doesn't work this time, it doesn't work. I'm not going to sweat it. We're just going to take off. We can read about it in the air, I guess. I want to listen to this Tucker Carlson thing. I mean, I guess I could take a couple minutes and figure it out. Tell you what, let's just pause this for a moment. We go to display capture. We have Bravo airspace here. Troubleshooting. Let's see if we can search about SimBrief. Okay, click here for Navigraph tutorial. Okay. Navigraph account. Okay, index. See, I didn't see that settings. That's what I was looking for. Unless I just completely missed it. That's what I was looking for, that settings thing. That's why it took me so long, because I know usually, like in the other Dreamliners and in the 777, when you click on that index button, it brings up settings. Yeah, see, that's what... See, motherfucker, that's what it was supposed to do. All right, let's get back in the airplane. All right, let's go ahead and get our power turned back on, and we're going to turn the APU on pretty quick this time. Nav lights. Here. Oh, there's a settings page there now. I swear I didn't see that bitch before. Six, 8. £8. Oh, we can set it here. We can set it from the flight plan. Oh, no shit. That's what I'm talking about, Bravo Airspace. That's what I'm talking about, boy. All right, let's get our flight pulled in here. Beautiful, beautiful. Right. And we're doing the, we're supposed to be leaving on runway 26. Really 26 left. And then the Folsey. Left. Yeah, 26 left. Okay. That pull up here. Edit. On screen. This is going so much better. Very good. Save. Good. See, there's our departure here. Get our taxi chart up. No, we don't need to. We'll just leave the sit on. Oh, I like we can click and drag it. That's pretty dope. I like that. Now, if we could get rid of like this here, that would be awesome. These are very small, these charts. Like, that's one, you know, it's nice that they're on here, but you know, if you're gonna do that, at least give us an option to get rid of this bar over here and like size this to the window here, so you can actually read, you know, what's in there. I guess we could get like really close to it. Yeah, I guess we just have to get this close. I would personally set a camera view for this. Like if you're going to be dependent on this, set a camera view for it. Maybe we'll do that while we're in the air, but probably not today. Maybe if we fly it again, maybe we'll do it. Okay, so cool. See, to our left, did it open? Okay, it opened. Cool. GPU, jetway. Okay. Now, the only negative I have about this is that you just don't know what's open and closed. Like there's no icon, like it doesn't light up a different color, which is okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, cabin. Current scene. Okay, lighting, boarding and departure. Pendant. Temperature doesn't work. Dimmable windows. Okay. And I believe that's it. Takeoff calculator. We can play with that later. Okay. Let's go ahead and do all this stuff here. Go ahead and set for flight plan. Here's our fuel. Here's our payload. Turn. You know, the one thing I didn't see on here, which is on those usual tablets, is the takeoff data and shit. Like, isn't that how we used to, like, do all the takeoff and stuff? Get all the V speeds and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, no big deal, just saying. I mean, I kind of liked using that part of the tablet. All right, let's see here. Position. KMIA again. All right, route. Press route. Plan is ready. Okay, load. Very good. Execute. To our departure, we do have runway 26 left. Holes. And we are using Lyra, our transition. And for our arrival, we're planning on the Gym S4 EJ. We'll just set that now. We'll set our what's it called later, our runway later. Sure we don't have any discontinuities, at least until the very end. You know what, let's put in just a runway just to be safe. X. We're supposed to be landing on 27. Execute legs. Get our wind data here in a moment. Let's just get rid of this discontinuity here. Vectors here. Execute. Back to the beginning of legs. RT data. Wind request. Meantime, let's turn on the AP. Okay, let's load the wind data in. Let's all our info in here. Cost index, we have plan. Cost index is 15. In here. I don't believe that's really our center of gravity. Reserves, we have $10.8. That in, and we can do 10.8. That looks okay. Let me go back to index again into settings. Yeah, see, this is what I thought our center of gravity was here. 31.77. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to thrust limiter. See, let's get Where is SimBrief? Part that I want to use here. That would open again. Let me make this big. Go to SimBrief. Oh, I'm not signed in, motherfucker. Oh, you son of a bitch, you motherfucker. Avograph code. Hang on, let me log in so I can put it in. Okay, put it. Okay. Flight, let's do performance. Populate from last flight. Populate weather. Calculate. Flaps 5, we have a D rate of 2. Assume temperature 59. Takeoff. Weather info, runway info, gradient, so there's no slope. We can use that 0. Let's see here. Wind is 20 by 10. Outside air temperature is currently 27 degrees Celsius. Sounds about right for Miami. Alright, flaps 5. Center of gravity. That's all good, but we're going to put in 142. 143, 149, all right, so we are all set for takeoff. Everything is good. Let's go ahead and complete our checklist here. That all looks good. Override, that looks good. For taxi. APU should be on. The APU is looking good. Still have... Close up that door. Let's get rid of the jetway. Jetway. Let's get our clearance for takeoff. It says
Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 26 left, 30, 26 right, 27. Wind 300 at 10 gusting 19er. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, view at 2300 feet. Scattered at 3300 feet. Broken at 5000 feet. Temperature 27. Dew point 19er. Altimeter 3001. Density altitude 1300 feet. Advise on initial contact you have information uniform. Miami International Airport.
Uniform, huh? Miami clearance, American 881 Bravo Kilo requesting IFR clearance to Philadelphia. We have information uniform.
Stand by, you're number one. American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, cleared to Philadelphia via the Folds 3 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 6,000. Expect flight level 41010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.1 squawk 6621. Expect runway 26 left.
Floated to Philadelphia via the Folds 3 departure, then a spot climb maintain 6,000, expect flight level 41010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.1 squawk 6621, and Roger on 26 left. Have a good day.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.8.
How'd I get rid of those stairs there? Copy that. Contact ground on 121.8, American 1 Bravo Kilo. Alright, so ground is 121.8. We are going to be going to 26 left.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of American Airlines and the entire crew, welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 1402, departing from Miami and heading to Philadelphia. We kindly ask you to take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
Miami ground, American 1 Bravo Kilo requesting pushback and engine start clearance.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, pushback and engine start approved. Tail southeast.
Never mind, we got nothing in the center. Beacon light on. Auto, and I think everything else looks good. Backs off. Yep. All right, let's start pushing back, and then we'll turn some engines on. Window heat. Did I turn window heat on? I don't think I turned window heat on. If it was an accident. I mean, it's not a big deal. Put this back on auto. Range. Alright, whatever. Let's back up. Go straight. Oh, wait, let's take our park and brake off first. All right, so far so good.
Cabin attendants, armed doors, and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of American Airlines and the entire crew, we kindly ask you to pay close attention to the following safety demonstration. This information is important for everyone, even if you are a frequent flyer. To start, please ensure your seatbelts are fastened, adjusted, and opened properly. The seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Next,
Parking
please
brakes
return your
on,
seatbacks
put on
and
our
tray
engines.
tables to the upright position, and open your window blinds for takeoff and landing. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops or larger devices should be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Please remember that smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop automatically. Pull the mask firmly towards you, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life vest is located
You're gonna
under
do a
your
motoring
seats
thing or not?
between the seats.
Probably not.
To put it on, place it over your head, fasten it, and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are also available. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clearly marked. There are a total of 6 exits on this aircraft, 2 at the front, 2 at the rear, and 2 over the wings. Please note that the nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow all safety instructions from the crew immediately. For your safety, we will demonstrate the brace position shortly. Please follow crew instructions at all times. Finally, the safety information card in
People
your
are
seat
louder than
pocket
the engine. Ooh,
contains
look,
all the
it's starting to
details
pull in
you need. Thank you for
some
your
vapor. That's pretty
attention,
cool.
and we wish you a pleasant flight.
Are working. Hydraulics look good. Doors are closed. Gear is down. Flight control. Rudders work. Miami ground, American 1 Bravo Kilo, requesting taxi clearance to runway 26 left.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, runway 26 left, taxi via Papa Whiskey Mike, Mike 11.
Taxi to runway 26 left via Papa Whiskey Mike 11, American 1 Bravo Kilo. right, so we have, what is it right now? 3001. Our V speed again. 149. Okay. 159 here. LNAV and VNAV now. Should give us those, yeah, those beautiful blue dots. All right, let's put our feet on the brakes, turn the parking brake off, set this to RTO. I think that's it. Let's kaboogie. Oh, hope these still work. Oh yeah, they work. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain talking from the cockpit. I'd like to welcome everybody aboard American Airlines Flight 1402, non-stop service from beautiful Miami to beautiful Philadelphia. We're going to be cruising at about 41,000 feet today. We're going to be in the air for just over right about 2.5 hours. Weather looks good in Philly today. It's a little cool. It's around 50 degrees. And we'll do our best to get you to Philly as quickly and as safely as possible. Flight attendants will be around after we turn the seatbelt signs off to get you guys drinks and snacks if needed. And they do have alcohol that you can buy as well. Thanks for flying American. Good.
Okay, Captain, thank you for the update. I will now make the security announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of American Airlines and the entire crew, we would like to welcome you aboard Flight 1402, non-stop service from beautiful Miami to beautiful Philadelphia.
Very good.
As we prepare for takeoff, please pay close attention to the
I knew Lisa from Chicago was the right one for this job.
Your seatbelt should be fastened low and tight across your lap. In case of turbulence, please keep your seatbelt fastened while seated. The exits are located at the front, middle, and rear of the aircraft. In the event of an emergency, lights will guide you to the nearest exit. Please take a moment to locate the safety information card in your seat pocket. Thank you for choosing American Airlines, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
I have to hold on to the big like pole down here that the whole yoke is on, just so when I push the rudders I don't like slide backwards. Like as it's pushing me, I'm pulling, keep myself kind of straight here so I don't slide all the way backwards. Oh, these blue dots are wonderful. I think if you go in pro mode, I don't think you have the blue dots. I used pro mode for a while actually, but I realized that you don't have full access to all the AI stuff. You do pro mode, so I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. The reason I got Say Intentions was like for the AI. So I turned off pro mode. I turned it off last night when we were doing the checklist, because you can't do the checklist deal that they have in pro mode, which that sucks. I think. I mean, if you're a pilot in real life and you have a co-pilot, one of you two is reading the checklist, the other one's usually operating, the equipment. I mean, unless you're flying, you know, playing by yourself, then you're doing the whole thing by yourself. But most of the time, there's a co-pilot that's like reading the shit out to you. Probably turn the lights down a little bit, see how this plane looks at nighttime, or early in the morning at least. Pretty nice, actually. It's not super bright like a lot of these airplanes are in 2024. Doesn't look like it has the vertical guidance on here. Oh, VSD, is it? No, it's grayed out. We can't operate it. All right. It is what it is. Looks kind of nice from the outside. Nice bright light for taxi lights. Navigation light looks good. Beacon light. Got our green and red lights working. Should probably tune to the tower. Cabin crew, take your seats for departure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your flight attendant Lisa speaking. As we begin our pushback, I would like to take a moment to remind you of some important safety
AI,
information.
you're so stupid.
Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across
How
your
does
lap.
take your seats for departure
In case
ask
of
you to do the
turbulence,
safety
we
announcement again,
recommend
Lisa?
keeping your seatbelt fastened
Come on,
while
say
seated.
intentions.
The exits are located at the front, middle, and rear of the aircraft. In the event of an emergency, lights will guide you to the nearest exit. Please take a moment to locate the safety information card in your seat pocket. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
Miami Tower, American 1 Bravo Kilo, holding short runway 26 left for departure.
American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, Miami Tower, runway 26 left, wind 300 at 10 gusting 19er. RNAV Crocs cleared for takeoff.
Put my blinker on. Oh, eco soundscapes. I don't have these birds turned on. Oh, I bet you that I didn't reset the soundscapes. Shit. When I reset the game. Hey, what's up, Mr. Mike Smith? How you doing? When I reset the simulator, I forgot to turn the sounds back off. So yeah, we have tropical sounds now from. Oh well. At least that's the only time that's happened. And I'm holding on for dear life trying to make sure I don't slide back too far. What's good? What's good, Mike? How you doing, brother? You know, I never tried Prepare 3D. I always heard it was really good. What do you think of Microsoft so far? All right, take off power set. It's a warning because we didn't set our stabilizer properly. You can see it right here. E1 rotates. All right, positive rate, landing gear up. Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you playing on Xbox or are you playing on a computer?
American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, Miami
PC?
Tower. Contact departure on 118.1.
Contact departure on 118.1 American 1 Bravo Kilo. Yeah, I played for a long time on Xbox. Hang on one second. I'm your departure, American 1 Bravo Kilo, currently climbing through 3,000 feet for flight level 410. Good morning. Yeah, I just got into the PC thing about a year ago, actually, and it's been cool. I like using PC.
Kilo Heavy, Miami departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain 6,000. Turn right, heading 310. Vectors to rest. Then is filed.
Climb, maintain 6,000, then vectors to fly as planned. American 1 Bravo Kilo. I mean, it plays really good on Xbox, but you just can't do any of the really fun shit on Xbox. Like, you can't really download any mods, you can't do ATC really. Alright, let's engage.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Autopilot on. Flaps up. Climb and maintain flight level 220, American 1 Bravo Kilo. So do the flight characteristics feel like more realistic? Flaps up all the way. Do they feel more realistic in Microsoft 2024 or Prepare 3D? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's like, or is it kind of about the same between the two, you think? Yeah, FSX was real simple. The no, I was just asking if you thought the flight characteristics, like the way the airplane handles, if it's better in Microsoft or if it feels like maybe more realistic in Prepare 3D. But yeah, it is a lot to set up, that's for sure. Thankfully, Microsoft does make it, I think they make it pretty easy. Not as easy as X-Plane, but I think they make it pretty easy. Definitely easier in 2024 than it was in 2020 for Microsoft, that's for sure. All right, let's turn off all our lights.
Dear guests, we are pleased to inform you that the lavatories are now available. You may also use your approved electronic devices in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly, and we will be offering complimentary Biscoff cookies or pretzels, along with soft drinks, coffee, and tea. For those interested, alcoholic beverages are
yeah, it is
available
crap
for
handling.
purchase.
That 737 MAX was crap for almost the whole year that the simulator's been out. It really just got good. Or I shouldn't say good, it's tolerable now, I think. the base 737 Max. It was horrible
American 1
before.
Bravo Kilo Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 290.
I maintain flight level 290, American 1 Bravo Kilo. For months. Like none of the gauges would work. The speed gauges wouldn't work. You know, the altimeter wouldn't work. Like none of the gauges would work. You could take off and fly, but you had no idea what your altitude was, and you had no idea what your speed was. That just got fixed, like with their latest update. All right, cabin. We can do. Let's see here. Takeoff. Man, chase plane is awesome. I use that on 2020. You can set your own camera views. What you need to do is it's the same categories no matter what the device is. But if you go down to camera and go down to cockpit camera, you can set buttons like I have here, right here, like save custom camera. So I have it stored, you know, for what's that? 1, 2, 3, for 5 spots, which are these spots right here that I like. This is 1. That's 2. That's 3, and that's 4. I haven't really tried doing it from the outside of the airplane, like if you were outside like this. I haven't played with that part before, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. But yeah, chase plane should be coming out pretty soon for 2024. I was reading about it like a week ago.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 350.
I maintain flight level 350, American 1 Bravo Kilo. Alright, let's go ahead and it is, you get my NVIDIA. Oh, you know, here, I can just, I think I can do it right here.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, contact Miami Center on 124.7.
Hang on a second. Hey, Chad, will you handle the comms, please?
Yo, Greg, I'll take over the comms, bro.
Well, man, Chad. System. Okay, here, let me share my screen here. Well, anyway, make sure I'm not doxing anything of myself here. I don't think I am. And then we'll get Tucker Carlson pulled up here in a moment. So I have the Lenovo Legion Tower 5. I bought it off Amazon for like under $2,000 last year. It's got 64 gigabytes of RAM. It's got almost 2 terabytes of storage. It's running the i7 14700F. It's got the NVIDIA RTX 4070 on it. And it usually runs pretty good. One thing that helps a lot with 2024 is this GPU-Z. That, and then also, I mean, I don't know if you've used this before or not either, but they have this auto FPS here. It's, Microsoft Flight Simulator Auto FPS by Reset Transponder. This tied in with GPU-Z. It does a lot of stuff behind the scenes to try to make it all. But yeah, 32 gigabytes of RAM is still plenty. That 32 was, I think, what was recommended. But I mean, if you've been running Prepare 3D for years,
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 400.
you should be fine with your specs.
Climb and maintain flight level 400, American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy.
Yeah, I mean, you should be okay with those specs, I would think. All right, I'm going to turn sand tensions down a little bit. I really haven't had any issues, and I you know, before I started using auto FPS, you know, I was running everything on pretty much ultra to high. Some things I would turn down, like trees and fauna and animals and shit like that. Like I would turn that kind of stuff down, but oh, I think I know how, hang on a second. Give me 1 second. There is a way to fix that. So like if like these gauges here, see how like it's like kind of smooth, like it's not blurry. Let me wait for Chad to finish talking here. Oh, you know, I don't need to stop the simulator for this. Let me get this pulled up here. And then this should work. Yeah, this should work. I found this on Reddit a while ago and it worked pretty well. Just let me get the right, I think this is the right one here. Community 2024. System app data. I'm trying to remember how to get back into it. Bear with me 1 second. Ah, that's right. Okay. All right, let me share my screen again. And then after this, we'll learn about what chemtrails really are. Oh, my display capture is still on. No shit. All right, so you have your first page here. You know, when you first bring up the folder. Go to local cache. And then go to this user config.op down here. If you open that up, go down to secondary scaling right here. And just turn that from 1.0, just make it 2.0. And they have it in two places. They have it here, and then they also have it down here, but I think this is for VFR. Because it says VR, but we'll change it anyways. But yeah, something about changing that value from 1 to 2. And then you can just close out, you know, your notepad, and it'll save it. Something about that, just... I don't know why it does it. Let's see if it's the same here for this one too. Yeah, secondary scaling too, right? Okay, so they should all be there. But yeah, so if you change that, that should change this display from being blurry. Like when you have these digital displays, it should stop it from being blurry, and at least make it look like this now. Now the rest of the gauges, if they're blurry, I'm not too sure about that. You might just have to play with some of the settings, but I know the secondary scaling helps out with this a lot. Auto FPS does help a lot of that kind of stuff too. Like if you downloaded Auto FPS, that might fix a lot of, you know, because it takes control of all the graphics based on the power of your PC, and it automatically adjusts items in the game, you know, for best performance. And you can choose what kind of performance you want to get from Auto FPS, but it's a pretty good option. I had a friend of mine, I call him Chicago. I don't know where Chicago went to, but Chicago has disappeared. But back when he was still talking to everybody, he's a pilot for United Airlines. He actually turned me on to Auto FPS. So thank you for that, Mr. Jackson Pilot. Jackson Pilot. All right. Yeah. Yeah, this last update that they put up for the flight simulator seems like it fixed a lot of issues with performance. Like it's definitely running really good compared to what it was like a month ago or 2 months ago. But yeah, shading's pretty good. Yeah, the weather effects are pretty good overall. The like the sun looks really good, like the clouds. You know, like it's even on the ground. Like if you, you know, there's activities you can do where like you just are exploring on the ground. Even the ground textures. I mean, like it looks pretty damn good, the game now. So, all right, let's see what chemtrails are about. This will be our in-flight entertainment for our flight.
We've spent the last 6 months trying to find someone credible who could explain that to us.
Yeah,
serious,
adjust the size of it.
Sane person with an engineering background who could tell us, what are we looking at? Because we're looking at something. And I don't care what names you call me, I still want to know what it is. And we think we have found that person. Dane Wigington of Northern California has been on this subject for almost 30 years and has compiled what we believe, after looking at it pretty carefully, is the most comprehensive account of what we're seeing. And it's very bad.
See, I always thought that it was Bill Gates putting stuff in the atmosphere to block out the sun at the drop of a hat. Like Bill Gates will just turn this switch on and all of a sudden we'll have no more sunlight because carbon's bad. We all know that. Even though carbon is what helps plants grow and animals grow and it helps create oxygen, and it's bad.
Thanks a lot for joining us. I never knew what to think of this topic, chemtrails or contrails, or the stripes in the sky that linger after airplanes pass. I don't remember them as a child. They're very common now. I've heard people say there's something up, something nefarious going on. So I go to Wikipedia to see what they say, and I want to read you the Wikipedia entry, the first part of it, on this question, okay? You may have seen this, and I'm quoting from Wikipedia as of this morning. The chemtrail conspiracy theory is the erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails left in the sky by high-flying aircraft are actually, quote, chemtrails, consisting of chemical or biological agents sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public, period. Believers in this conspiracy theory say that while normal contrails dissipate relatively quickly, contrails that linger must contain additional substances. Those who subscribe to the theory speculate that the purpose of the chemical release may be solar radiation management, weather modification, psychological manipulation, human population control, biological or chemical warfare, or testing of a biological or chemical agent on the population, and that the trails are causing respiratory illnesses and other health problems. So I read that, and the purpose, of course, of that paragraph is not to illuminate what this might be, but to attack anyone who speculates about what it might be. It's a form itself of psychological warfare, of propaganda. And when I read that, I said to myself, there's clearly something going on, because the people who control Wikipedia, which would be the intel agencies, as we know, don't want anyone to talk about this. So with that lengthy preface explaining why this conversation is taking place, I will turn it over to you to explain what are these lines in the sky that we have all seen.
There's sprayed particulate dispersion. There is no theory in this equation. Bottom line is, when we have up-close film footage of these aircraft at altitude, KC-10s, KC-135s, C-17 Globemasters, with nozzles visible turning dispersions on and off. This is not, quote, condensation. Geoengineeringwatch.org is the only entity that has taken a NOAA Flying Lab, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Flying Lab, top scientists in it, to sample what these heavy aircraft are emitting at altitude. That sample was processed at Rensselaer Polytechnic in New York, one of the world's most renowned testing institutions. We found exactly what we knew we would find, starting with aluminum nanoparticles. Bioavailable freeform aluminum is toxic to all life, period. That element is named in numerous climate engineering patents as part of a geoengineering dispersion element. So again, there's no theory involved in any of this. And what's so incredibly
this is not going to work in here.
Profound in this equation, Tucker, you have the entire global climate science community, governments all over the world saying we need to put aircraft in the air immediately to disperse light scattering particles. And we use the science terms at geoengineeringwatch.org. Because the chemtrails term is the instant marginalization term by design. Bring that term up.
It's not going to let us put it in.
Any elected official won't talk to you anymore. Media will immediately marginalize you. Solar radiation management, stratospheric aerosol injection, cloud albedo enhancement, climate engineering. If we stick to the science terms, they can't marginalize us. So again, this elephant in the sky that we're told is a conspiracy theory is exactly what the entire global climate science community says we need to deploy immediately to slow down the warming of the planet. Stated purpose to deflect some of the sun's incoming thermal energy. We know these programs, not surprisingly, are making a bad situation.
Lisa, we're not at cruising altitude.
And, Tucker, they're being used as a form of warfare. And we know that. We have countries like Iran, constantly demonized, of course, as you well know. Immediately after 9/11, we have the list of countries to be targeted given to General Wesley Clark. A list that clearly existed before 9/11 even occurred. Subsequently, every one of those countries, every one of them, was endured a once in 1,000 year drought. Statistically, mathematically, that's impossible without climate intervention operations. And we have the leader of Iran on the floor of the UN, on film, on the record, stating NATO was cutting off their precipitation. We have Iranian top scientists recently stating NATO's been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah, Horizon, I think you have to download a separate app for that.
By destabilizing the rain, and you destabilize the population.
At least it should be.
You just said a bunch of amazing things, all of which I just want to say sound plausible to me. But let's just back up a little bit. So you're calling this geoengineering. The term.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
The term chemtrails.
Sometimes I wish I didn't put any money into this.
Term designed.
Like some days I wish I just stuck with X-Plane and Microsoft 2020.
So
if they Google that term, they'll get what you got. And that's what we try to avoid. If anybody is unfamiliar with the issue and they Google that term, that's the end of their search most likely. So we try to.
I think it's under the headwind simulator option here.
In this case.
Okay, so the first line of the Wikipedia entry points out something true.
So
which
if
is
you go to
when you look at these lines in the sky,
here, I'll show you.
And you're told, well, it's just condensation, it's water vapor.
Go to headwind simulations.
You know that maybe that's not the right
headwind
explanation.
Simulations. Here, I'll put it in chat.
And doesn't remain in the sky for like 20 minutes after the plane leaves. So that suggests bigger particles in the mist, that particulate matter in the mist. Is that correct?
Exactly correct. If you see, for example, breath condensing, if you see some researchers in the Arctic and their breath is condensing because it's very cold, do they get a cloud starting to form over their head? If you have a vehicle that's exhaust is condensing in the morning, you have a freeway with giant clouds hanging over it from the condensation from the vehicles in some cold region? No, that's not how condensation behaves. And again, my journey into this whole battle of now 27 years, but when I built...
Yeah, if you go to Horizon, if you go to Headwind Simulations, download their desktop app. When you open that up, it'll have all the planes from Headwinds for free, Horizon, Latin VFR, Airbuses, the 787s, and it also has fly-by-wire SimBridge as well. So, but yeah, this is it's a good option here. This Headwind simulation. Yeah, go to the Headwind Simulations installer and then install that, and you'll be able to get the Horizon 787 there.
I came up with 7 parts per billion in my first rain test over the next 18 months because I took that long researching before I was willing to speak out on this issue. At the end of 18 months, I had single rain events with 3,450 parts per billion of aluminum in my rain. This is bioavailable free-form aluminum, which is toxic to all life forms, period. Primary element named in climate engineering patents, and we have the world's most recognized geoengineers specifically stating on film on the record.
See you, bud. Thanks for stopping by for a while. It was nice chatting with you.
Aluminum.
Good luck with the new simulator. Hope it works out well for you.
That's how I got into this battle.
So, if I understand what you're saying, what we're watching is an attempt, I assume by governments, and we'll get into who's doing this, to mitigate the effects of climate change, to reflect back rays from the sun so that the earth doesn't warm at a pace that is dangerous to whatever they think it's dangerous to.
No worries.
But this is a
farming online, like Farming Simulator, or like real life farming.
That is a stated purpose. We know this is.
That is a stated purpose. So I think that's plausible because there is so much energy, commitment, sincere commitment in some cases, obviously fake commitment in others, but and so much money behind this effort to mitigate global warming that makes absolute sense. It is a religion.
I like the farming sims too.
And you're saying
I haven't used one in a few months.
Interested in it,
but man, I got so many hours in that farming simulator.
And you derive a lot of your electricity from solar, and you clearly have an engineer brain. You were wondering, like, why the hell is my solar not working correctly? And that got you into this process of learning about it?
It's a fun
Correct.
game.
And have
I like the
friends in
factories
solar
now that they have
industry
available, where you
and
can like
who,
make your
off the
own
record,
items. I like
informed me that
having
some of the
olives now
commercial
and
solar
almond
plants
trees
are
and all that
producing
equipment. I
half
mean,
the
it's
design output.
it's
And they
fun,
won't
man.
talk
I like a
about
lot of the
why,
mods.
because
The
they don't
mods
wanna
to me
lose
make
subsidies.
that farming
So,
simulator a lot of
again,
fun.
This is a very known element in many fields. In fact, with the nation's weathermen, National Weather Service, and NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, there is an illegal federal gag order on all agency operations with those two entities. Why would our government feel the need to gag the weathermen? I had a NOAA scientist state to my face, quote, "We all know this is going on. We have no First Amendment protection. We don't know what to do."
Yeah.
So the bottom line is,
I downloaded mine
let's
from
all just
Microsoft.
pretend
I don't
this
know
is
where
going
it's at in
on
Steam.
while it's virtually
I know, like when you go to the main Steam
dismantling the planet's
folder,
primary
usually it
life
lists
support
out the
systems and
games,
ubiquitously
so maybe
contaminating
it'll
everything
put it
everywhere.
there
I'm
for
not
you.
just talking about aluminum. We
You
have
should be able to,
in
if
lab
you can. I
tests,
mean, it should
we've
be
done
pretty
hundreds of
available
lab tests. We did
online, like in
500,
Reddit or
working with
somewhere.
the University of Minnesota, an internationally recognized agricultural institution. We have aluminum, barium, strontium, manganese, surfactants, polymer fibers, graphene, all of this coming down in our breathable air column, Tucker.
Yeah, I didn't know you can go outside the airplane.
Horrifying. People worry about the
Very
safety
nice.
of their home now more than ever. Simply Safe is an amazing solution, and with the early access Black Friday sale upon us, there's never been a better
Damn, that looks pretty fucking good,
time
man. I
to
can take a
protect
picture of
your
that.
house or family this way.
So
typical security systems react
snap
to
the
after
screenshots
somebody
of
broke
this.
into your house. It seems a little late, really. Simply Safe takes the opposite approach to stop bad things, home
Alternate
invasions,
R.
for example, before they happen.
Oh.
How?
Alternate
Active
Z?
Guard outdoor protection.
Alternate
Cameras
Z,
detect
that's
threats
it.
outside your house.
Screenshot
Alert real security agents
is
to take action when the
alternate
intruder is still
F1.
outside, not in your bedroom. Why doesn't everyone do this?
OBS is
We don't
preventing
know,
it, you
but
fucker,
this is
OBS.
a great idea. And Simply Safe works whether you're home or not. You can be around the world. It's got 24/7 coverage no matter where you are. There are no
right, let's
long-term
look at a few
contracts,
things here.
fees. You can cancel it anytime you want. It's been repeatedly named best home security system for a good reason. Plus, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you're not risking anything. Don't miss out on Simply Safe's biggest sale of the year, 60% off. Right now, our listeners get 60% off the Simply Safe home security system at simplysafe.com/Tucker. SimplySafe, S-I-M-P-L-I, safe.com/Tucker. That's the kind of safety you want. So, who's doing this specifically?
Ultimately, all roads lead to those who print the money. But we know as far as the coordinating entities,
did I not turn packs on?
DoD, DARPA, and we have documents
man.
to prove the existence of these programs going
No,
back
we would have
decades,
had
documents
pressurization
hundreds of
issues
pages long.
immediately.
We have an 800-page
Like,
U.S. Senate
my
document
bad.
from
Let's
1978
fast forward that part.
outlining the scope and scale of these programs then, specifically calling for intergovernmental cooperation, even between, quote, otherwise adversarial nations, because
Yeah,
of
we
the
would have had all
cross-border
kinds of warnings going
ramifications of
off
these
in real
programs.
life.
You can't just geoengineer of your own country. Who's the biggest player? Obviously, the United States of America, because of the size of our military. The U.S. military has 3 times more aerial tankers, which are the primary aircraft used in these operations, 3 times more than all other militaries in the world combined. And if I could back up to the whole condensation trail narrative again, which is perhaps one of the greatest lies ever perpetrated on populations all over the world, all military tankers and all commercial aircraft are equipped with what's known as a high bypass turbofan jet engine. That's a jet-powered fan. 90% of the air that moves through that engine is not combusted. So by design, that engine is nearly incapable of producing any condensation trail except under rare and extreme circumstances, which are diminishing by the day because of the warming that's occurring in the troposphere. So much warming. We've had 2 former military pilots that fly private aircraft. Important people have contacted us at geoengineeringwatch.org. In both cases, they were off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, and their aircraft were forced into emergency auto descents because the air outside that aircraft was 45 to 50 degrees above what it should have been. The air was not dense enough to carry those aircraft. These people are very, very alarmed, but very afraid to speak out.
That's an amazing fact, and it,
Wow,
and
that's
it points
crazy.
up something that I think is indisputably true, which is the climate is changing. Why it's changing is a whole separate set of debates. Of course, it's always changed.
Climate engineering alone, though, climate engineering alone, and I'm not negating the other sources of damage to the planet. We've been very poor stewards. But our point at geoengineeringwatch.org is how can anybody,
108.95.
from any perspective, and the environmental left is the most reluctant to face this issue. And we know why, Tucker, because they don't want to lose their 501c3 nonprofits.
Yep.
Our attorneys
108, not, yeah, of course it's all about money. If climate change was that real,
Greenpeace, Sierra Club,
the
WWF, all of them,
hang on one second, let me pause this motherfucker
because
real
they
quick.
don't want to lose their nonprofit status. Is that not criminal hypocrisy? So we're stating in the case.
If climate change was that real and that severe, these politicians in DC and these business owners would not be buying beachfront property on the shores and beaches of East Florida and West Florida. You know, if they were really worried about the seas rising and all that shit, they would not have anything to do with anything waterfront. They'd be buying up like farmland and shit like that, like it out in Wyoming, and maybe they are doing that too, but I don't hear about that. All I hear about is them buying farmland, you know, deep down south. Yeah, that's fucking hypocrisy at its finest. All right, we have 200 degrees, 200 feet.
Case of trapping more heat than it deflects, causing far more harm than any perceived good. They're simply using it as a weapon under the guise of trying to mitigate the climate. So again, these operations are taking us from the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. So again, the greatest, most damaging form of human activity on the planet at this moment in time must be considered these operations, climate engineering.
Oh yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, geoengineering by its very nature is just like textbook hubris, where you think you're God and you're in charge of the weather and the planet. No, you're just some lumpy, furry.
You're just some Jeffrey Epstein friend,
with no ability
that
to make
like to get massages
better
from little
you're not
girls
God. Like,
on his plane.
The whole mindset is the mindset that gets us to nuclear war. So I'm opposed to it.
Yes,
but
that's what they're really
before
after.
We ascend too much
trying to
higher,
get us into nuclear war.
Come back down a little bit and to the specifics.
Right, Star,
so
we have
where these aircraft seem to be everywhere in the United States. Where are they taking off from? Where do these chemicals come from? The aluminum particulate, the rest that you did, the magnesium, all the rest.
Jim
you described.
S4.
Like what's kind of the chain?
Make sure we have the right
the stripes
altitudes
in the sky
here.
The aircraft are taking off from countless locations.
DJ
We're
is
aware of a
our
number of military
transition.
bases where we know they're deploying from. We also have
1,700 to
aircraft
6,000
with commercial markings that we know are being used in these operations. We know that because we have film footage of these aircraft retrofit nozzles mounted on the wing
1,600 to
pylons.
6,000.
We have up-close photographs aimed into the exhaust jet stream to make this look like, quote, condensation. We are not implicating commercial pilots or personnel, but we are communicating with them. Some commercial pilots that distribute our printed materials in pilot lunchrooms, for example, covertly, because they know their aircraft are being used. These are automated systems. They carry a small payload. You might remember about the year 2000, the weight of the aircraft became a very big deal. How much luggage you carried on, how much weight you carried on. That appears to be when this was implemented. And we also know that the DoD has leased a significant number of commercial aircraft with commercial markings. Why would the DoD need or want that? And again, for the base material, because we're talking about an extraordinary amount of material here, based on our testing with the University of Minnesota, again, about 500 lab tests there, and extrapolating how much material was in the precipitation, projecting that globally, it appears something in the range of 40 to 60 million tons of nanoparticles are being dispersed annually in skies all over the globe.
Wow.
And the smaller the particle, the more toxic it is, the more harmful it is, the more bioavailable it is. And all the official air quality testing by design doesn't even look for these elements, let alone disclose them. So official air quality testing is PM10, 10 microns, occasionally PM2.5. Those are boulders compared to a nanoparticle. You can fit up to 100,000 nanoparticles across the width of a single human hair. They're inconceivably small. And the reason they use such small particles is because they stay aloft longer, and that's the goal. Keep the particles
those
suspended in the atmosphere.
I wish I could dust my screens on this plane.
Forcing. There's more surface area the smaller the particle for a given amount of material. So it appears, and we have a published study on this, there is a peer-reviewed published study that implicates coal fly ash as a base material for these operations because it contains many of the elements the climate engineers feel they need to disperse in our skies, and it provides plausible deniability, and it gets rid of a waste product.
Oh, you know, we have a top of descent calculator we haven't tried yet.
There's other elements
I wanted to try that.
American Elements Corporation appears to be one of the primary suppliers for these operations. But again, the fact that this can go on in our skies, and the mountain of data that exists on this, and the continued pretending by the so-called climate science community that this is ongoing, is mind-numbing, and they won't be able to hide this for much longer, Tucker. I want to stress that. These programs will be forced to light, and if I could end with this, when those pretend, again, like the Wikipedia definition you read,
What did my flight attendant just say to
sort
me?
of an outlandish conspiracy. Let's go all the way back to 1962, 63 years ago. President Lyndon Johnson, on film, on the record, ranting like a lunatic. It's the first 30 seconds of the weekly commercial-free, non-political Geoengineering Watch national broadcast we put on radios out of our stations out of our pocket across the country. But the first 30 seconds is this film footage of Johnson stating we had the power to control the world's cloud layer then, and quote, "He who controls the weather controls the world." How far have they come since?
A new study, one of the saddest ever released, showed that 1 year after having an abortion, women were 50% more likely to need psychiatric treatment and 87% more likely to experience personality disorders or behavioral disorders.
Call simulator on
So
reaching
abortion is
target
not
altitude.
healthcare,
That's pretty cool. I
it's
like that.
trauma. It's awful. It's the saddest thing. It's something.
It's a nice little tablet they have available here.
Choice. But they do, and our friends at Preborn want to remind everyone that they do. They have a choice. At Preborn, women find real care, not lectures about how they should have their abortions and then brag about them and how they're going to feel great after it and whole and free. It's all such a lie.
Oh, you know, I never did this here. We'll try this next time. Like when we're going in for landing, we'll try.
By it, they're enslaved by it. It's the saddest thing. And Preborn is pro-life in the truest sense. They want women to have an actual option. Preborn's network clinics welcome expecting mothers with open arms. There's no shame, no guilt. There's compassion and support. They're introduced to their babies through ultrasounds, and for the first time they understand this is alive, this is life, this is a miracle. When a mother chooses life,
about an hour until top of
her
descent.
up to 2 years, providing maternity clothes, diapers, counseling, and anything she needs. It's Christmas right around the corner. We hope you will support Preborn. Preborn is a 5-star rated charity, meaning that when you send money to them, they actually use it for what they say they can use it for. It's not for private planes for their staff, hardly. Dial #250 and say the keyword baby. That's #250 baby, or visit preborn.com.
Yeah, say intentions come a long way with their updates, man.
Stand with life. True.
It is
life,
amazing what they've been able to do now.
With
I really like. There was a while when I didn't pay for it for a while. I told you guys, like I stopped paying for it for a little bit.
And Johnson.
But I'm back with it now, man. They've come a long way.
Committed to helping destroy the world. So an evil man, I think, by any metric. So I'm not necessarily surprised. What I am surprised by, however, is the fact that this program, the one you're describing, could have continued for over 60 years at this scale, continental scale, global scale, and no one knows about it or
that
talks
looks so
about
good.
it. I mean,
the little waves coming off the engine with
what do they say when you ask them?
The water and all that.
Effective narrative, isn't it? Let's all have the entire medical community pretending that injecting toxic heavy metals is safe and effective, and they still pretend to this day that that is the case, when it doesn't take a large intellect or an educated individual to understand that's going to do harm, and yet that narrative still continues to this day. So again, this mass psychosis of denial is mind-numbing, but you can't hide this for much longer.
I like Tucker Carlson, these shows that he does, man. I like the people he's got on. Like even Nick Fuentes, like I had a really bad image of Nick Fuentes. Like he's not a bad dude. I mean, yeah, he's very outspoken and says what a lot of people are thinking.
When did the U.S. military start its modification in hurricanes? And there's some interesting things going on the hurricane front this year. Is none of them. They're being
I like the Alex Jones one the best, I think. That was a good episode of Tucker Carlson.
You can't manipulate a weather system of that size. It's absolute nonsense. The science completely disputes that.
See, my fat man,
commenced its hurricane modification operation in 1947 with Project Cirrus. And even the results of that initial small-scale testing appeared to have so much effect on a cyclonic rotation that there were lawsuits pending from that, at which time they began to be more covert about their operations.
And you said you'll notice that there aren't hurricanes in Florida. So the last few years, Florida, the west coast of Florida in particular, just been hammered, absolutely destroyed. Billions, tens of billions of dollars of damage done by hurricanes. No hurricanes this year. And you're saying that that's not an accident. Is that what you're saying?
Not an accident.
I'm saying that we know the technology exists to steer storms of that size. And let me make a comparison. You could have a 10-year-old child.
All those politicians just bought all those homes down there. Of course they can't have
100,000-ton freight train by
hurricanes
pulling a
coming through
lever,
there.
literally, and changing the tracks.
That's correct.
And that's the kind of small input, massive output that you can have with these cyclonic rotations when they have the ability to manipulate atmospheric pressure zones. This is undisputed, patented science. So why would we think they're not using these type of operations? We have historical precedent. Project Popeye in Vietnam was so successful at controlling precipitation. This is a historical record that by 1976 they passed the INMOD treaties forbidding weather manipulation for wartime purposes, but not over a country's own population. So if we look at the
Can I ask you to stop? I'm sorry, you're throwing. I'm so ignorant on this topic, but I'm suddenly very interested that I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. Operation Popeye? Is that what you called it in Vietnam? What? I've never even heard of that, I'm embarrassed to say. What is it? What was it?
Very easily researched historical record. U.S. military was so successful at controlling precipitation over Vietnam that the international community was very concerned about this, at least on the surface. And they passed environmental modification treaties in 1976, international treaties forbidding weather manipulation in wartime. So again, when people claim this is conspiracy, we don't have this kind of power and control, and they try to muddy the climate engineering issue as being the localized, publicized cloud seeding operations. Those are two completely different animals. And we see even some state legislators doing the same.
For my daughter real quick.
And we're trying to correct that at GeoEnergy Martial Order because we're working with numerous state legislators now and have been.
You see, family.
There's legislation pending in 36
You see, family's
states
supposed to come first, isn't that what they say?
Geoengineering over their skies. Tennessee and Florida have already done so. But we're correcting them and giving them an accurate compass heading that the localized, publicized cloud seeding operations, the kind which they tried to implicate in the Texas floods that killed so many young Americans, as being connected to a localized cloud seeding operation, which is virtually meaningless.
Landing's supposed to look like
comparison to climate engineering. It's an ant compared to an elephant. So intentionally, those that control media and are trying to control the narrative are trying to confuse these two issues. They are completely different. They're trying to mask
auto brake 1,
the
flaps
elephant
30
in the sky, which is climate engineering operations. So
around 131.
Again, these programs are historical record. The Chinese government is so successful at, for example, engineering snowstorms. Tucker, do you remember the blizzard in New Orleans this January? You remember that?
No, I don't.
There was a blizzard in New Orleans, first time in recorded history. There was a blizzard in Florida, blizzards on the Gulf Coast. That was January 21st, by the way. That's an interesting date to have that happen. These are demonstrations of what climate engineering can do, and the Chinese government has long since openly stated they were engineering snowstorms with endothermic reacting elements. These are patented elements that can literally transition what should be a liquid precipitation event, a rain event, into snow. And these elements, if people understand they have a first aid kit that sits on their shelf at room temperature for 20 years, you mix the cold pack together, you have ice.
Why do they have us landing Miami 26 left?
Yeah,
that's being spit into cloud moisture. And they were so successful in China, they cost billions of dollars the damage to Beijing, at which time they began to be less open about this. Everybody covered it. CNN, Popular Science, The Guardian, everyone. But if you bring that up here, suddenly you're a tinfoil hat wearing nutcase on that same day. While it was blizzarding in New Orleans, in the polar regions, Alaska, Greenland,
it doesn't really matter what that says.
Siberia,
we have the right info here.
It was above freezing and raining. Do you remember the deep freeze in Texas, Tucker, a few years ago, 5 years ago, something like that?
Yes, very well. Yeah, it shut down a lot of their grid.
Correct. So when it was below zero in Dallas, it was 33 degrees warmer at the North Pole. Think about that. And that's what we're not told. So when you have, let's look at the climate conferences. You know what those are? The international climate conferences that we have.
Big fucking scam.
Those conferences are not to change business as usual. They are to force countries to actively or passively participate in climate engineering. So at some of those conferences, the Cancun conference, the Copenhagen conference, we had record low temperatures at the time of the conference in spite of above normal temperatures in all surrounding areas. That's a demonstration of what climate engineering can do.
Is it really this clear outside right now on the East Coast?
The deflection
of hurricanes
so far this year Is that a demonstration to other countries as well as to the power that the U.S. military has to manipulate atmospheric pressure zones? And again, these are patented processes.
And I don't know why
listeners that have heard of HAARP,
that always happens on
Alaska, I'm
Microsoft
not sure
whenever
if you ever
you
heard of that, Tucker. HAARP.
switch the time like that, like it like bounces the airplane around. Like we didn't change the weather, we
Images of
just
that
changed.
exist. There's no dispute as to its
time.
function or what the patents outline that it can do. Even Discovery Channel did a long episode, which they've seemed to be taken off the air now, called Controlling the Weather. But that's a weapon of mass destruction. They play it off as a benign research facility. That's an ionosphere heater. It transmits 3.6 million watts of power to
I know,
the
nobody's made one yet.
ionosphere, causing an electrical chain reaction. They're literally using the atmosphere as a physics lab, which we know they do, right?
Should be able
Tucker?
to
You know
access
Project Starfish Prime and Project Fishbowl, if you've heard of those.
from our flight
Those
plan.
are the U.S. military's experiments with detonating hydrogen bombs in the magnetosphere, which they thought could
Sorry about
collapse
that,
the
I
whole
didn't mean to hit the
atmosphere. Did that
microphone.
stop them? No, it didn't. So installations like HAARP are used to control atmospheric pressure zones. Back to the hurricanes, if you can manipulate atmospheric pressure zones with these directional ionosphere heaters, you can literally manipulate their path. And is that what we see going on? Is that a demonstration to others right now? Does the administration want to not have a big hurricane cataclysm since they've gutted all the emergency protection, everything? Do they not want to fight that battle too right now? We don't know. We can speculate
that's
on
what's
those
missing
things. But the fact
on that app there should be a drop down
natural at this
arrow.
point is
See
indisputable.
here.
That's amazing. When you drink a cup of coffee from your typical douchey woke coffee company,
Oh, there we
you're
go. Now it's in
supporting
there,
an entire
since I put it in
agenda
the
you
other
may not be
app.
aware of.
There we go.
It's not just about coffee. It's about Antifa,
This is what I was trying to pull up.
indoctrination, the notion that
I went to the
masculinity is
desktop
somehow
app,
toxic, and
pulled up
other
Philadelphia,
programs
now it's in here now.
specifically
Very nice.
designed to
We'll just
destroy
leave this
the
in here
West.
because this will
It's
update
gonna be
automatically,
pretty
I think.
effective. You shouldn't have to support any of that just because
Even
you
if,
want to drink
well,
great
you know what?
coffee.
It's in there now, so we can just do that and
both.
click search again.
You can have an excellent cup of coffee, and you can defend what matters in your nation.
26
Black
right.
Rifle Coffee is a really good way to do
This
that.
is so cool.
Veteran
Look at
founded,
this.
Mission-driven, Black Rifle Coffee.
Gives you the star
donated to groups that
information.
you'd be proud of, not ones that hate you.
Wow,
Their money
that
goes
is
to
cool,
the right
man.
places, and they're going
job
all
saying
in.
intentions, man.
This
Y'all have,
Veterans Week from November
upped
7th
your game up
until
quite a
the 11th,
bit.
Black Rifle is raising money to eliminate
The best
up to
thing, the best
$25 million
thing that you have
in
done so
veteran
far
debt.
for me that I like a lot is when you click on the frequency now, it changes it right away. Before you used to have to click on it, like I never knew if you had to click on the frequency and then the name, or the name then the frequency, but I would always click on each like 2 or 3 times until it showed up. But that's nice that it's
one, the U.S.
working out.
military in this country, our military runs propaganda operations against our population, and they do it on social media, and of course they do it through the conventional media as well, and they have for a long time. But it's certainly gotten more aggressive. So that's illegal. It's immoral. Anyone who participates in that should be in prison. But it happens, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to stop it. So we know that they lie to our population about a whole bunch of things, including what they're doing. 2, we know that in the past 15 years, you see these kind of fat, effeminate generals all of a sudden talking about how climate change is like one of the main national security threats, and like the purpose of the U.S. military is to fight climate change. There's been a lot of that, and it's very confusing to people like me who think of the purpose of the U.S. military as like shooting people trying to invade our country. Like, what does climate change have to do with national security? But they've been saying that a lot. And your description suddenly makes it all
love
make
Lido
sense.
charts.
Like,
Never really get a chance to look at them too much.
A lot of what they do is trying to mitigate.
It's like reading like a different language.
Change. I mean, I guess this is more out in the open than I realized until right now.
I would call it masking the effects, because they're certainly not mitigating it. Everything they do, every
FAA, I believe that's what it's going to look like if you were on like Sky Vector, I think. Yeah, I like these charts too, man. This is how I learned to read charts, was from Sky Vector.
Top brass statements on the record that they consider the collapsing climate system the greatest national security threat of all. So when you have so many military bases at sea level, some of which are already being inundated, that's a part of the problem. But you have other elements, for example, and this is from a perspective of the existence of the human race and how much longer we're going to be here. The ozone layer is near functional collapse right now. It's not the hairspray cans. Single greatest damaging factor is climate engineering, period. Not just the oxidizing
if the
particles
ozone goes
that are
out,
being
we're
dispersed
done.
in our atmosphere, but the manipulation of those particles with extremely powerful frequency transmissions. So we know that of all the towers being put up everywhere for, quote, communications, fake trees and, you know, all the different forms they come in, we know that many of those installations are being supplied with 10 times more power than they need. That's part of my background in the electrical field. I know people that work on these towers. 10 times more power than they need for communications. Why do they need that much more power? 1,000% more power. We know these facilities are being used to manipulate the electrically conductive atmospheric particulates. There's a repelling effect.
Discontinuity or a vector somewhere else?
Because we can see the effect on water vapor loops. So if we look at the flash flooding in Texas as an example that killed so many young Americans, we captured in real time, and I'm still surprised we have access to these data loops, because we have access to the transmissions from the NextRad network that are used to manipulate weather systems. And what happened in that case was, because of the repelling effect of those transmissions, and picture this scenario, when there was that convective cell over that location and transmitters energized all around that cell, and we recorded that, it's posted online, that in effect held that cell in one place. It precipitated out in one location. We can speculate about agendas and objectives. We can't know that.
Pretty interesting.
But the fact that that storm was manipulated is beyond dispute. Same with Hurricane Helene. We recorded that in real time. The frequency transmissions manipulating that storm and steering it into place. It's indisputable. These are patented technologies. Hurricane Harvey, we recorded that. How did meteorologists know 7 days in advance?
I don't know. What do y'all think about that? If anybody's watching this,
there for 3 days,
put a 1 in the chat if you think it's true. Put a 2 and everything is false.
I
mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past companies to do that. It just seems a little far-fetched.
These people are reading scripts, Tucker. They're literally reading scripts passed down to them by Raytheon, private defense contractors Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. They're neck deep in climate engineering, everything.
I could believe that.
Operations, everything.
I mean, they need to be making their money somehow, because it's certainly not the, you know, nuclear war like they want.
Quote forecast, which is the scheduled weather, to the National Weather Service and NOAA, our nation's weathermen. That passes all the way down, and local meteorologists simply, they know how long their leash is. They're protecting their paychecks and pensions. They toe the line as well, just like the safe and effective in the medical community. Everybody just toes the line because they don't want to disrupt their personal paradigm. These storms are being steered and manipulated, period. That's beyond dispute.
I could believe it.
I'm glad you keep bringing up the COVID vax, because it would be hard for my middle-aged brain to accept a lie at this scale. Like, how could you do that? How could you hide something this big, this profound from an entire population?
That was all to get Trump out of office and get people injected with nanoparticles.
Like a total lie. And now there's no dispute about the fact that they lied about it, but no one was ever punished, and most people believed it.
Nobody will get punished.
So I know for a fact.
The people that make the laws and the rules are the people doing it.
Can you?
The only way to hold them accountable is.
So who pays you to do this?
Let me see how I can phrase this without having the FBI knock on my door.
You're clearly, I guess, not in it for the money. Like this.
All right. If anybody's ever watched The Hateful Eight, there's a scene where. I forget his name in the movie, but he's the one that plays the hangman. Okay? Something, oh, what's his name? What's your name, Buster? It's certainly not Buster. It's, I forget the, oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, he's like, my friends, if, you know, I was to take her and hang her by her neck until she is dead, that is what civilization calls justice. That's like our court systems, right? Then he goes, however, if the families and the loved ones of the people you killed decide to drag you by your hair and cut your throat until you are dead, that, my friends, is called frontier justice. And while frontier justice might be as satisfying as regular justice, is done without dispassion, because justice done without dispassion, justice done with passion is not true justice indeed. And he's like, right on. So I think the only way to hold these people accountable is if we, the people, hold them accountable. I'm not calling for it, and I'm not saying we need to do anything. I'm just saying that's the only way they're going to be held accountable, is if somebody other than the court system and politicians do it, because it's never going to happen. What was his name? It's Waldo Mowbray. That's what's your name, Buster? Oh well, it's certainly not Buster. I'm as Waldo Mowbray. He's the hangman in these parts. Oh really? I'm the sheriff.
A bigger
Bullshit
movement than I was aware until
That's such a
right
good
now.
movie,
So
The Hateful Eight. If you guys haven't seen that movie, you need to watch that movie.
Rainwater.
That movie is so good.
You're researching this actively.
I've seen that movie.
Like, is this a volunteer effort?
I don't even know how many times.
and why are you doing
Hundreds
this?
of times, probably.
Because I could find no greater point for existing. How can I possibly look the other way? I was restoring habitat in Northern California, east side of Lake Shasta. Habitat that was decimated by irresponsible logging practices. I wanted to do that the rest of my life. I wanted to plant trees and watch them grow the rest of my life.
Oh, good for God bless you.
I mean, there's no greater solitude than what I was doing. But how was I to continue doing that knowing what I knew? When the solar output reduction happened that I mentioned earlier,
Boy, that
and I
looks
began
good.
to test rain,
Listening off
knowing the
the
implications
lake, doesn't
of
it? The
toxic
lake, the ocean,
rain,
I mean.
rain that contained aluminum. By the way,
That looks
aluminum
really
in regard
cool.
to not just killing soil microbiome, but tree root systems.
Hold on, guys.
Peer-reviewed study, since that bioavailable aluminum, they shut down nutrient uptake. So the trees die a slow, protracted death, and all official agencies blame beetles. The trees are dying because of the beetles. That's all we hear. And the bottom line is, beetles are a symptom of a sick, dead, dying tree. My father was an arborist. I know trees. I love trees. When I was in kindergarten, they had to come out after recess and drag me out of the tree because I didn't want to come down.
Yeah.
And so,
Stay there probably about an hour.
I mean, with no trees, no people. That's simple, right?
That's right.
So, how was I to continue doing that? I can't. I can't look myself in the mirror. I can't look my children in the eyes. How can I not do this? And if we carry this further, Tucker, you know the bees are collapsing, right?
Oh, of course. I know very well.
So we know this year we were told 70% collapse this year. That's staggering. That's incredibly alarming. But what's the real figure? The real figure is that's a 70% collapse of the 20% that was remaining. We're down to single-digit percentages of pollinators left right now.
Wow.
We know insect populations have declined.
That's terrible.
This is terrestrial and aquatic insect.
And if we don't have
80 to
pollinators,
90% globally.
Very noticeable. And if you don't believe it,
That's like
remember the windshield
basic
on your parents' station wagon
ecology,
as a child
you know,
in the
ecology
summertime
101
was covered in bugs.
and
that is
geology.
not-
You know, we
I
need
drive in a rural area every night
pollinators
and no bugs.
to transfer pollen from
real.
plant to
bugs,
plant.
No bugs, no people. Also, we publicized this in 2012 with my work with former
True, no
government
bugs, no people.
scientists that could speak out because they were retired. And the science community tried to marginalize us. And now they've had to admit to it. If your listeners search insect apocalypse, they'll find the alarms going off all over the globe because this translates to plankton as well. No plankton, no people.
Yep.
We have peer-reviewed science study now from the Atlantic.
Plankton has
population's
really
down
dried up.
90%. 90. Other oceans not far behind. That's the greatest oxygen producer on the planet. That is the base of life on Earth, plankton.
Yep.
We are on the human race
And
right
whales
now,
eat it.
Tucker, I've used this
Well,
example
no, whales
before,
don't
but
eat it.
It
But
sends a message. It's very
krill,
accurate. It's like
which
occupants of
whales
a
eat.
car parked on the
A lot of
railroad
whales, like the
track.
humpback
The train
whale
is
and the
seconds
blue
from
whale, I
impact,
think.
Lights flashing,
They eat
horn
plankton.
blaring,
Krill
and
does.
they're trying to decide what station to put the radio on. I mean, no matter what other issue we're facing, and I would argue power structure maneuvering right now from conflict zones to carnage zones, many other factors are directly related to the unfolding and accelerating biosphere collapse, which climate engineering is fueling, not mitigating, it's fueling it, and they will not let go of this covert weapon of control. It is the crown jewel weapon with which they can, have been, and are bringing populations to their knees, including our own, without those populations ever even knowing they're under assault. They're not going to let go of this weapon.
That's right.
In
And
regards
they do
to
it
our
all
military
under the
brothers and
guise
sisters that
of
are
climate
participating
control.
in this, because many ask that question.
That's why they want you to have that carbon
But the bottom
carbon
line is, and
score,
I've heard you say, I just heard
vaccine
you
passport.
cite this, and I
It's
thank
all
you for
towards
doing so,
giving you
that our
the
military brothers and sisters took an oath to
global
protect
carbon credit system.
their populations. I heard this on a former presentation you just made, to protect their populations from all threats, foreign and domestic. So they're being compartmentalized. They're being told that these programs are some benevolent, necessary operation. Just like the pilots in Vietnam, I'm sure were told when they were spraying Agent Orange on everybody. They're not told this is going to kill your comrade on the ground. Of course they're not told that. So here we are.
And I think in a lot of cases people don't know. They don't think it through. I mean, again, they're so high on this false feeling of omnipotence, like we're in charge, we have the technology, we can make things better. I mean, people delude themselves. I think good people, I know good people delude themselves into committing evil because, you know, they think they have this power that they actually don't have. So, okay, the bees start disappearing, the bats, as you know, of course, insects, plankton. These are all phenomena that most people are not going to notice because they live in cities, they're not touching bees, okay, or insects. But the trees dying is very obvious. I mean, these are, you know, plants that live for 100 years, and all of a sudden they're dying. The fir trees are dying. Give us a sense of American forestry right now. Like, how are the trees in this country?
Not good.
I think
if Tucker's asking it, it's not good.
Globally at this point, because we have that statistic.
Look how good the sun looks. Doesn't that look awesome?
Has declined since.
Well, if the Earth dies tomorrow, I've lived a pretty good life.
66%.
The last like 4 or 5 years has been a bit suspect, but up until then, it was a pretty good life.
1/3 is dead and dying. Trees. I mean, we've changed atmospheric chemistry so much. Forests do not smell like forests anymore. Anybody who knows trees and knows what forests once smelled like,
yes,
knows that scent is gone. Why is it gone? Because of the now intense UV radiation that's bombarding the planet. And we're getting, by the way, UVC in the surface. I mentioned the ozone layer collapse. Climate engineering, single greatest factor. And the climate science community acknowledges this, by the way, Tucker. They acknowledge openly, if we geoengineer, as if we haven't been for 80 years already, by the way, these programs are immediately deployed after World War II. That's
soundscapes, whatever it's called.
But the science community openly admits
we're running pretty good right now, about 80 frames a second. GPUs at 96, 97%.
Contract engineer working directly for geoengineeringwatch.org.
GPUs temperatures around 70, 71 degrees. CPU's only at 29%.
We don't monetize anything. Our film, The Dimming, the groundbreaking documentary, The Dimming, which is the standard on this issue, 26 million views, non-monetized, posted for free the day it was done. I'm in this for the cause. If we don't win this battle, nothing else matters. And back to the trees.
And the problem is nobody's going to listen to this guy or believe him. Everybody's going to shun him and say he's crazy, or they'll censor him when what he's saying is probably true and probably will happen.
Breathe, to feed on carbon, to release oxygen. They are not respirating. They're dying a slow, protracted death. That's the second greatest oxygen producer on the planet. Again, from every conceivable direction, climate engineering is pounding the nails into our collective coffins, but they will not let go of this covert weapon of control. And for those who say they wouldn't do this themselves, again, they already have. We detonated 2,400 nuclear bombs on the planet. How many people know that? The Nevada detonations, which they did in total secrecy, right? We know now from peer-reviewed study that downwind fallout from the Nevada nuclear bomb detonations killed no less than 700,000 Americans. That's peer-reviewed study. How many people know that? So again, they don't care about the consequences of what they do. We know as far as biological testing, according to the Washington Post, as of 1977, U.S. military had conducted no less than 239 open-air biological tests on innocent, unknowing civilians.
Oh, come on now. Biological warfare tests on Americans?
I believe it.
You know. You must know that. Look it up. I mean, this is historical record, again, covered by mainstream media.
We had a revolution over a T-tax, dude. I feel like this, you can't put up with this. I encourage all of your listeners
I'm a big fan of these views here,
thing
Bravo.
I state. That is very easy to find.
Now,
that statistic. Washington Post first published that in 1977. I hope it's clear.
That's an un-Bravo
I'm citing,
Bravo
not
uniform.
shooting from the hip. So again, this is
this looks really good. Like the plastic.
Why people can't face that is perplexing. And let's look at Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Bravo
I know
Zero.
You know who he is, former U.S. presidential advisor, going all the way back to Johnson.
Track IR. That's what I need. I need to get me to Track IR soon.
Well. He stated, with today's technology,
I need Track IR in my life.
To kill 1 million people than to control them. You think these people are here to help? Really? So again, I want to stress that the amount of layers with this issue, and there's many legitimate causes of concerns at this point in time. If we don't deal with what's happening in our skies, we're not going to be here long. And let's look at, if we could look at COVID for a moment, we know that, for one, the world's second most recognized climate engineer, Dr. Ken Caldera, former DOD scientist, we own an audio of him at geoengineeringwatch.org. in his words, stating what he did for the DoD, was to design methods of spraying pathogens into clouds to infect the populations below. We know in the outbreak of CV-19, at one point, 85 countries were infected in 3 days. That's indicative of an airborne dispersion. We know from Italian researchers they found CV-19 attached to airborne particulates. Do not all these dots connect? They certainly would appear so. We know from our precipitation testing, we have polymer fibers and graphene in our rain. Graphene is like a vascular machete. I mean, it's listed in geoengineering patents for certain purposes. Again, they don't care about the consequences, but those two elements also, Tucker, are used militarily as biological carrier platforms to carry a pathogen from the clouds to the ground to infect the population below. Why is that in our rain right now? Could they, at any point of their choosing, put something much more lethal into the precipitation and level the playing field?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely they could.
This is also shocking. Have you spoken to elected officials about this, members of Congress?
Man, it ain't gonna do shit.
Many, and I continue to, and many know. I've had private meetings with Gavin.
Guys ain't gonna do nothing.
At this California
people need to rise up. That's what happened. People need to rise up and take back the country.
Would never do anything for the common good.
That's the only way something's gonna change, is if we the people do something. Again, I'm not calling for us to do anything. I'm just saying.
Response there.
If we can do it with our voices, that would be great.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So you actually said this, or a version of this, to Gavin Newsom, the governor of California?
Gavin Newsom won't give a fuck.
Yes, and in fact, and what I conveyed to Newsom also, if these programs were allowed to continue, because I was focused more on the state of California and the impact here,
here's Carolinas,
that the drought catastrophes in California would be catastrophic. I supplied data, which he didn't try to dispute, because I've had meetings with California Energy Commission scientists as well, air quality scientists. You know, California's been concerned about, of course, the lack of precipitation, which affects our hydro power production, also affects Hoover Dam, Canyon Dam. But if your listeners looked at presentations I gave well over a decade ago, engineered drought catastrophe, target California, everything I said in those presentations back then is more relevant now than ever. Presented that data to Newsom. And the drought has continued, which they're not even disclosing now. Even in Northern California right now, they show zero drought.
That's crazy.
Blatant, glaring statistical falsification. It has never been drier here.
It's part of what all the wildfires happen for.
And fire fuel moisture. They're lying about everything. They're lying about the UV readings on the surface. Blatant, glaring lies. They meter. We know about every single.
I have to do some research into this guy and see much of what he's doing is just flapping his gums just to get on TV, or if there's some truth to what he's saying. I believe about the chemtrails, because that's I've been reading about that shit for years. Like, I don't know if it's as bad as what he's saying. I heard it was instructed by Bill Gates so that he could block out the sun at any point that he wants to.
In a closed door meeting.
You know, tell me to my face, the system is for climate, for carbon.
Particulates only, the rest goes out the window. Whole system by design to not show the immensity of damage being done. So back to Newsom and those officials.
By the way, if I go inside the cabin here,
the Palisades fire.
That's why it's still blurry. Like, I don't get this Bravo airspace. Like, you guys need to fix that. And I don't really have a cabin, that's why we haven't really been in. I have a TV screen.
Is far greater even than their ability to augment.
Can we interact with this? I doubt it.
They can shut down rain as long as they want, as we know from the Middle Eastern countries, as I just stated on Iran.
Oh yeah, we can't operate that.
So in the case of the Palisades, no rain for 8 months. It's not an accident. These particulates are incendiaries. Aluminum nanoparticles are such an effective incendiary, they're used in military demolitions. Thermite. That incendiary dust coats
thermite, that's what took down the buildings in 9/11.
And when that builds up over time, that makes
thermite
everything
and
more volatile
bombs
as well. I spoke about atmospheric pressure zones, which they can and are manipulating.
That's how Building 7 went down
they can
as
manipulate
flat as it did.
Wind flows.
If that thing really fell the way they said, it would have been like,
zonal wind
would have started on the one side and just gone down,
same thing,
like column by column, like
low pressure zones. One to the north, which was an engineered high pressure zone, to the south, Hurricane Dora. Between those two, you create a bellows
my
effect.
teeth look shiny for some reason.
Whatever the source of ignition.
I don't have my main light on today. I just had the light from the camera sets. I'm doing that on purpose because I get tired of flying with that big light on all the time, man. I use that light for work. And when I'm flying, like, I don't want to.
The ignition again, that's irrelevant. What's setting the template?
For me, it has nothing to do with you guys. It's a me thing. Why I turn that light off.
And I'll leave it with this. we found a 140-page U.S. military document, which we posted, titled
Bacon strips?
Wildfires
Oh, bell
as
strip.
the Military Weapon. Within that document, 17 sites were aimed in the U.S. as study zones. LA was one. And including that, described exactly the type of pre-preparation that we see happening in all these locations. Lahaina was declared a flash drought zone a week prior to that incineration. So we can speculate on the agendas and objectives being carried out. The fact that climate engineering is inseparable from these equations is absolutely indisputable. That document, by the way, also posted at geoengineeringwatch.org with the important sections highlighted. Shocking data.
Has there been any attempt to push back legislatively? Like, has the Congress ever taken this up?
I can speed up the flight, but I'm not going to at this point. There's really no reason for it now.
Legislation in some
Our top of
process,
descent's
2
not
states
too
have already
far away.
passed it. I'm communicating
We're over
with
Virginia.
an aide to DeSantis. I've had an hour conference call with Latipo there on the issue. We have some very rational people involved. He is. He very much.
Yeah, I
is
mean, I
so keen
have
that
the
was on
speed sim here.
had
We can make
Marjorie
it faster,
Taylor
but
Greene
no
just
point to it
addressed
now.
this.
We've been
That was publicized well. We tried to reach Mrs. Green before this to try to give some compass heading, because if you fly into this,
I might come back and do some more flying tonight. We might do some more IFR training tonight.
And one thing we encourage,
I have to run out for a little bit. I have to go to the store and just get a few things,
we hope
but
she does at some point. Don't open.
I don't really
the
have any money
entire
until Thursday. I'm kind of broke until Thursday.
Scenario.
And I think
and
my
mix it with
registration's
this issue.
expired,
And
actually, too.
That's what she did. We want to keep the focus on
To
climate
be honest, I
engineering.
think it
And
expired.
when
Oh,
there's a
it got
denial
suspended
of
today.
the
I think
other
my
sources of
registration. I have
damage
to
to the
go
planet,
and take
that
care of my
tends to
vehicle emissions, even though I
immediately
drive like
half the people we need in
2,500
this
miles a
battle.
year.
So
I
what
still need to get my
try to
emissions
encourage
tested, which is
other
fucking
legislators
stupid.
to do is if the subject of the climate comes
But
up, that how can we have any
I
legitimate
had to do some
discussion of
repairs on my
climate
car
anything
to pass
from any
emissions. That was like
perspective,
$800,
without
and
first and
I
foremost
just paid
addressing
$2,200
this
for
elephant
rent.
in the
So that
equation.
ate up all my
that
cash.
narrative is much
Until I
more
get paid again on
productive
Wednesday
in
night.
building bridges instead of burning
I'm not really trying to drive
burning
anywhere. But I need to run out and get lottery tickets, so I'm at least going to like the store like right near my house.
I pay attention to nature.
It's like
but
kind
you
of in the
just
neighborhood.
single-handedly convinced me that a lot of this is driven by human activity, just not your Suburban and your hairspray. It's driven by the U.S. military.
I'll go there and pick up a couple
Both.
things.
So I want to stress again, we're not denying at geoengineeringwatch.org that again, our statistically, we are putting about
No, really go grocery shopping on
100.
I guess Thursday after work, and then come back and I'll be cooking all night probably.
Carbon into the air a day. 26
I've been
million
on this
tons of coal,
diet, so
100
I've
million
been
barrels of hydrocarbon. We're cutting down
trying
the
to eat
forests. We're
good.
paving the planet. We're poisoning the oceans.
Can't eat good unless I'm buying fresh
All of these
ingredients.
things happen in effect. We're acknowledging
Cabbage,
that.
carrots,
But we're saying when we
meat,
have
corn,
intentional intervention, which has prevented
cilantro,
the planet
onions,
from responding
potatoes,
to the damage done.
garlic.
If it weren't for toxic rain, Tucker, the forests may have tried to uptake more of that carbon and to keep things more in balance, but they can't. The trees can't. Their root systems are being poisoned, soil microbiome being poisoned, ozone layer being destroyed. These programs are literally disabling the planet's counterbalancing life support systems. So we will never
There's only about
know
20
now
minutes until descent.
how much better position we would have been in.
I'm probably just going to let Chad take care of the comms on the way down in case they vector us.
Let's call it what it is. It's weather warfare. Had these programs never been
Since
deployed,
Chad didn't get to
we
talk
will
last
now
night, we'll
never
give
know
Chad
how
a.
much better
We'll see how
we
Chad
are.
does with this new update.
But those in power, again, do not care about the consequences of their actions, even to themselves. And we know that from psychoanalysis. I've looked at this from a psychoanalysis standpoint, and it specifically cites the kind of
Bravo Kilo
personality disorders that exist with those in power have a
How much
common
longer do
thread,
we
and that
have
common thread is
with
this. A near total lack of comprehension as to the consequences of their actions, even to themselves. That's a power addict, and I
That
know
is
you.
correct.
All right, let's just go to where people can learn about this guy.
I think the first step is to let people know the facts that you just laid out, and to have a public debate about it. It always begins with words. Anything good. So could you just end by telling us, for people who have made it to this portion of the interview and want to know more, can you speak slowly and direct them to where they can get more information on this?
Geoengineeringwatch.org strives to be the data repository on this issue. And
Yes.
the only way we can move this fight forward is to share credible data from a credible source. And we strive to be that source. I have one goal, one mission. I live for the day when what's happening in our skies is fully exposed and halted. which Tucker, I would argue, we can only do from the inside out. The legislation is good because it puts it on the radar, but it's symbolic. They're not going to stop DoD operations from that. Only by pushing this issue to the full light of day can we cause a shockwave around the world so that populations in countries all over the world understand what their governments have either actively or passively done to them without their knowledge or consent. And in doing so, our military brothers and sisters would hopefully awaken to what they're doing to their countrymen, and one would hope would stand down. I know we have the Milgram experiments as an example of most human beings, if they're being told by someone they perceive an authority, will carry out almost any form of atrocity. And we need to get past that. But if we can fully expose this...
He's not saying where he's from. Let's just turn him off for now. I'll try to find out where well, you can look at the video, find out. But I'll try to find out too and put it in Discord later on. I do want to play a little bit of this hearing from Robert Tejas. This is one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube. This guy is such an idiot.
Provided to me the first time. I received only 3. Then when I pointed...
Here, unfortunately, too many people bought the lies. Isn't that right?
Correct.
And when you're saying that, you're referring to the votes, correct?
Yeah.
And the lies were propagated by those articles, correct?
Yes. Yes. It was more...
So this guy was found guilty of killing Jeff Garriman, who was some sort of reporter out in Vegas. This guy was a public administrator, was trying to, quote-unquote, take down a company that he thought was doing things illegally. And he thinks, or at least that's what he's saying, he did a testimony type examination. And when he was making his arguments, he was saying how he thinks that company, this realty company, was doing everything. Like, they killed Mr. Garriman, they got him kicked out of office, like it's a conspiracy, and but yeah, man, like let's see here.
In fact, let's talk about that right now.
This is great.
Let's go to slide 40.
Oh, look, they have late up there now. Late buy for the bar here. That is cool. You got any new subscribers? Let's see here. We're still hovering around 1,020. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Right here of the rims?
Yes, sir.
Great.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Sir,
We don't care.
We don't care. We don't care about subscribers. We just fly airplanes because we find it fun. All right, let's let them do the talking here.
12 o'clock is north.
Yes. So 12 o'clock is
Or up.
to the top. And then you've got 6 o'clock is to the bottom. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So look at this bottom right-hand picture. Isn't it true that when you look at the front wheel, the spokes on this wheel are not all the same size, correct?
Right.
They alternate in thickness.
Correct. Correct.
At the 12 o'clock position, it's a narrow spoke, right?
See if that's correct. 2968 for the pressure. Oh, I gotta sign in.
Yes, sir.
And in the 6 o'clock position,
All right, let's see what shows up here.
that's a fat wide spoke, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's surrounded by 2 narrow spokes, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it totals
Pretty close.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different spokes, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And just to be clear, whenever you look at one spoke, let's say the 12 o'clock position, when you look at the opposite position, it's the thicker one, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if you look at a smaller one, if you look the opposite direction, it's going to be thicker, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that, when you look at the picture of this white spoke on the killer's car, you see that on this wheel, on the front, you see it on the back. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Publishing 320. Give me a Q. That's your work on, isn't it?
Yes,
That is the car that you don't normally drive. Is that right? You drive a BMW.
Yeah, 2968. That's what I thought. But that's 2960. But that's from an hour and 2 minutes ago.
Your testimony was, my rims are different. No, sir.
Now, that's what it says here as well. Let's see if it says anything different.
See the front tire?
Yes, sir.
The one closest to the 12 o'clock position
Here.
is thick. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
The one directly opposite that, closest
That still says 2968.
Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Just like the car in the video. Isn't that correct?
It has the same type of rims.
It does. That's not what you just told that jury on direct examination. You said you looked at a tweet from General Bob Custer and you thought, oh, gosh, my rims are different.
General Bob Custer.
Yes, because
There's Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is beautiful, man. If y'all never been there before, man, Virginia Beach is beautiful.
Matches the killer's car.
yes,
So, now looking at your rims, let's look at them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spokes on that wheel, correct?
yes, sir.
Just like the killer's car.
Similar.
Let's run through the descent checklist.
Correct.
But they're not the same.
Auto brake.
Sir, let's
On.
take it this way.
We have our
The 12
VREF.
o'clock position
and
is
that's
a
big.
back wide spoke, correct?
Yes, sir.
6 o'clock position is error, correct?
Yes.
When we look at the photograph of the killer's car, it had that same pattern, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy. Contact Washington Center on 133.825.
We're in about the 1 o'clock position. It's
Switching
an
to
error,
Washington
correct?
Center on 133.825. American 881 Bravo Kilo.
Again, similar to the
Heavy.
killer's car.
Right.
Wow, look at that. It shows the actual airport here. That is pretty cool. Look at that.
On all of your wheels, isn't that right?
Right.
Okay. Now, we can cue back over to the PowerPoint presentation.
Washington Center. American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy. Good afternoon. Maintaining flight level 410.
Look at that. That's
The
cool.
front windows are not tinted, are they?
Yes, sir.
Back ones are, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy, Washington Center. Good afternoon.
He sounds very happy.
Your front windows are not tinted, correct?
That is correct.
Your back ones are, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
All SUVs from like that are built like that.
I don't think so. I think the killer got a car like mine.
Okay. So you would agree your
Sorry, I
car
didn't mean to hit the
looks
microphone.
exactly like the killer's car.
That's so funny.
No, it doesn't?
There's a difference with that paint on the lower left-hand side that Mr. Morgan testified about.
Let's talk about other similarities. We've seen footage from the video.
Let's look
of
at
the
auto
bike.
FPS.
Yes, sir.
And I can pull the slide.
Got that
We
for
don't need to.
IFR.
You remember seeing it on the survey.
Still running?
Right.
See it.
Okay, publishing 317. And look at that. Your visor's down.
Here we go. Oh, it's running.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, now the clouds look better. Now the GPU-Z is running.
You're suggesting that your professional hitman in the funny hat knew about your visor as well?
I'm saying that Mr. Mogg pulled my visor.
Ah, but you didn't see that, did you, sir?
You didn't have proof of that, did you?
I didn't see him do it, but
Right. You didn't see it with your own 2 eyes, correct?
that is correct.
You're just telling it out of full cloth, correct? You're speculating. Is that right?
Speculating. It's a good word for it.
Just to know who actually did it.
Right. Right. You don't even know who it was, correct?
It could have been another officer, yes.
Okay. So now it's not just Officer Mogg that's part of this conspiracy. There's other officers who. How many officers are part of this conspiracy?
I don't know.
Well, please tell me. How many do you think are involved?
I couldn't think so.
So you have no idea, but you think it might be Mogg and another officer, but you just can't come up with a number. correct?
Funny.
Mr. Mogg actually made some false representations about what happened, so yes.
Okay.
I mean, so
Sir,
I don't know what his motivation would be otherwise.
Sir, isn't it possible that in your rush to drive back home, you just didn't even realize that the down visor might even be something of significance? Is that possible?
No, sir.
No. So you believe
It's also just a down visor. Like, why can't this guy on the stand say, dude, people put visors up and down all the time. What the fuck does that... The down visor doesn't mean I killed Mr. Gurman. Just means that the visor was down because it was sunny when I was driving home and I was using it to block the sun out.
I never saw anyone.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
You got any actual evidence on me or what?
Just like the killer.
Anyone could have moved at any point in time, sir.
The answer to my question is yes. The visor is down, just
Repeat
like the
after
killers
me.
are, correct?
The answer is yes,
So
right?
the answer to my question is yes. The visor is down, just like the killer's car.
You're talking about obviously this point in time.
Charles, this is a pretty part of the area here.
Just like the killer's.
Chincoteague's real pretty. My in-laws
Again, without knowing
I like to go up to Chincoteague a lot. I think they have like campground there that they own or something like that. They own something out there. Either that or they're renting it. I don't know what they're doing with it, but either way, they're up there a lot.
Yes, sir.
Then you came here this morning.
They're barely at their house anymore, actually.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
There's one thing I didn't hear you mention. The DNA. I'd like to talk about that.
There is no DNA.
You're not disputing your DNA is underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails.
Oh yeah, outside of that there is. Right, I forgot about that.
But you've heard the testimony. It's there, correct?
I don't know if it was there or at what point it might have got there, sir.
Okay. I'm not asking you how it got there. Are you really denying that your DNA is underneath the fingernails?
Without knowing the truth, yes, I am.
Okay. You've heard witnesses testify.
Right.
So the DNA lab's in on it too.
I don't know. I don't know what point the sample was collected.
Sir, please tell this jury, how in the world does your DNA get underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails?
I don't know because I did not kill Mr.
You
Gehrman.
have no idea how it could have gotten underneath your fingernails, correct?
Under my
I'm sorry, under his fingernails, correct?
I don't know that it ever was.
All right. Let's do it another way. You and Mr. Gehrman are not friends, are you? Hey, you don't hang out with them ever?
Sir, I did not ever hang
Not
out
that the
with
sun's
Mr.
getting ready to come up. I don't know what we're going down to.
You didn't hang out with them ever, correct?
I did not.
He's never invited you
Probably
to his
just
house.
say descend on the
Hung out, had drinks,
blah 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 arrival.
There would be really no opportunity for him ever to put his hands on you in any sort of social situation, correct?
I also got to check to see if my spoilers work with the button I have programmed. I think they will. I'll wait until we start our descent for that.
Happens to be underneath his fingernails. Correct. Okay. You just don't think it was legitimately placed there, correct? Or are you just ignoring the testimony of all of the witnesses that talk about how your DNA was underneath the fingernails?
Again, at some point or other, I believe it was planted because I did not kill Mr. Gehrman.
So, by that logic, if you believe it was planted, you were at least admitting, yes, my DNA is underneath his fingernails, correct? Can you at least agree with me on that?
Whether it came from a sample of fingernails or a different sample altogether, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, sir.
The answer to my question is yes. Least acknowledge
No, sir.
physical DNA is underneath the fingernails.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So you're just going to disregard what all the other DNA witnesses said about this, correct?
You know,
That's fair. That's
Seems
fine.
like the DA's feelings got hurt. He's like, what? You're not going to agree with me, man? Like, what?
Let's
You're not going to pass me the ball back?
I still want to touch on this. You would agree that if I came up to you and I scratched your face, scratched your chest, there's a possibility I could get skin cells underneath my fingertips, right?
yes, sir.
You would agree that if someone was trying to fight for their life and were scratching at the killer, they could potentially get DNA from the killer underneath their fingertips. That's a possibility, right?
Is that speculation or is
No,
that?
no, I'm just asking you if it's a possibility.
I would imagine so.
Let's talk about your house for a second. When they went over to your house, they took a look underneath the couch. Publishing 224. That's your couch, right?
It is my couch.
And underneath the couch is a shoe, a chopped up shoe, right?
Right.
That's the gray Nike, correct?
Pure so, yes, sir.
Publishing 228. That's what it looks like, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's gray in color, correct?
Yes.
It is a Nike brand, correct?
Yes, sir.
It is a black swoosh, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has 4 horizontal or at least vertical bars in the middle of that shoe, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You would agree with me. That's the shoe that the killer was wearing, correct?
I don't know that that's the case.
You don't know? Well, it sure looks a heck of a lot like it, right?
Yes, it could be the same model, but it could be a different size.
Sure. Let's let's just look at it.
If this does camera view for me.
I don't disagree that it's the same model.
Yay!
Right. It's the exact same type of shoe, right? Okay. So we're not in dispute about it. We can agree on that, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
And your DNA is in those shoes that are found in your house, correct?
I don't know that to be the case.
Okay, but that's the whole thing of like, it's a setup, and I think the DNA people are framing something along those lines, right?
Whether it's them or someone else?
You've heard the results. The results say that your DNA is in that shoe, and we did hear that, correct?
That is what we heard.
Okay. And you just think it's just another part of the conspiracy to somehow get your DNA into those shoes.
So I believe that there are officers who, when they think that a fellow officer needs help plugging holes in the case, that they're willing to do what they have to.
Okay. All right. You characterize this case as a case that has holes?
I think that Detective Jabby decided he wanted me for this, and everybody decided that system because they thought...
Jabby's a part of the council.
Oh, he's always
We've
been.
got the DNA lab, we've got Jabby, we've got Mog. We're having to touch on this shit. We will. Yeah, they're part of it too, correct?
So they paid Detective Jabby, yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to all that.
Of course, absolutely, sir.
So, here's the thing. Are the shoes...
Hey, Captain Greg, First Officer Long Duck Dong, just checking in. I made sure to leave the spoon out so you don't have to go around again. Would you like anything to drink or a small snack?
I don't know for sure. I do have similar ones, but again, I have not, you know...
Oh, you... Similar? Publishing?
No, thanks, Lisa. I think we're good. We're beginning our descent. Thank you.
It's the same shoe, isn't it?
Okay, Captain, beginning our descent.
It is potentially the same shoe as the one, yes.
Sir. You're not
Right, let's catch back up with VNAV. Let me see if these spoilers work.
Right. This is me.
So this wasn't planted evidence.
All right, they do work.
What, the picture of the shoe? No.
Right. And you were claiming ownership over that shoe, right?
Let's see if
So
that and...
it's gray in color, right? It's got the black Nike
Nope,
shoes, correct?
can't.
Right.
It's got the 4 black horizontal bars in it, right? And you would agree with me when you wore those shoes, you probably left your DNA behind there in those shoes, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying now...
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, clear Jim's 4-Eye transition into Philadelphia. When you're ready to begin your descent, descend and maintain flight level 290.
Remember that
Clear Jim's 4 to the AAI transition into Philadelphia. Descend and maintain flight level 290 when ready. American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy.
We'll reactivate VNAV again once we
Underneath your sofa, underneath the
level
recliner,
off here.
you're saying
Once
those
it's not
were
in yellow
the same
anymore.
shoes?
I don't know that they...
Okay. It's just another crazy coincidence, right?
When somebody chops up a shoe and puts it under the couch,
Ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
strange.
we have left our cruising altitude and are beginning our approach to Philadelphia. At this time, we kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer permitted. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
But this image is in your phone, right?
This particular image, I'm sure.
Okay, let's see if this works now.
To say, hey, I'm rock climbing indoors.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so you believe because you were under surveillance, what? They knew the type of shoes you were wearing?
Yes.
Okay. You've seen the photos from the surveillance, right?
I have seen some of those from some of them. Not everything was produced. Not everything was produced to me, sir.
Okay. What was produced to you, which was everything?
It was not.
You're not wearing the Nikes on the days that you're surveilled, isn't that right?
This 819 was during...
Focus on my question. Isn't it true on the days that you were surveilled, you're
Oh,
not
this is what I'm
wearing the
looking for
Nikes,
here. This
correct?
one. Next custom camera.
So we'll pull them and we'll go take...
And now when I do this, I should be able to go and do... There we go.
You are not wearing the Nikes.
That is not true, sir.
You're wearing your little moccasins, the gray ones, the top side. Remember those? You all know those, right?
I remember topsiders.
What are top sounds? I don't know.
I'm digging myself, I guess. But they're like a boat shoe. They're kind of like it's like almost like a grayish stone. They're not Nikes. But you were wearing those when you were surveilled.
And if you want to put the photos, I can confirm right away.
No, you don't know the answers to what shoes you're wearing on the days.
I have like a tan shoe that I probably wore.
Don't worry. We'll get the photos and we'll go through it.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing. If Compass Realty framed you, how in the world would they know about these shoes?
Yeah, I said that I was under surveillance by Metro. On this date, 8/19.
All right, let's see if Say Intentions will
See, they took photos.
have us.
They provided those to the second jet.
Okay. So what? And then Jackie did what with them?
Let's see if they'll have us landing. I'm sorry, looking at something. Let's see if they will have us descend again. Because this was a big gripe of mine before with Say Intentions. Is they'll have us level off and then they won't give us another. They won't give us another prompt to descend again.
After you're arrested, correct?
I don't know when it was produced.
You had your phone with you on the day that you're arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, you didn't give it to Chappie in early September, did you?
Yes, sir.
No, you had it with you the whole time until you
See what they say.
right?
That I know, yes, sir.
And that was on September 7th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the only way anyone could learn that information inside your phone would have to be after the murder was committed, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you think there's a way...
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, descend and maintain flight level 250.
Prior to the murder.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, just a heads up that we had an aircraft report, occasional moderate chop about 5-9 minutes ago at flight level 280.
Descending and maintaining flight level 250. American 881 Bravo Kilo
Sir,
Heavy.
let's just be clear about one thing. You had had possession of your phone through the entire month of August of 2022, correct?
It wasn't in my sight 24/7.
Sure, but you weren't loaning to anyone, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give it to Compass Realty, correct?
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be. You didn't give it to Derek Jaffe, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give it to Cliff Long, correct?
No, sir.
Because you didn't even know who Cliff Long was, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give your phone to anybody, correct?
That's correct, sir.
All right, so now let's get to some of the other interesting things that are in your phone. Oh, by the way, and you also have DNA on the scissors, right? Or are we denying that? Or is that what you're acknowledging because of the thing?
No, they're letters on those scissors.
Okay, so Metro got that one right.
Yes.
That wasn't a frame job.
No, well, I do think that they used some of the DNA from that, but...
Well, before we move on, I ask you this too. So like if Metro's reading, so you think Metro's framing?
May.
As I said before,
May County, isn't Cape May in New Jersey?
Decided to help Chappie plug holes in
No way we're over New Jersey. I know we're not over New Jersey. That's impossible.
was with Compass Realty.
Sir? Okay.
Oh no shit, we are. Oh, we just passed Wildwood. Oh, I used to love going to Wildwood when I was a kid.
Wanted to frame you.
I think that maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I mean,
Great question, because if the murder weapon that had Gary's DNA in it,
Yeah, Wildwood. This is Wildwood over here, I believe. Man, I used to have so much fun at Wildwood. Oh my god, it was such a pain in the ass to get to though. The drive was so long. Essentially, we drove from like Baltimore. We had to go up towards Philly and then go down. Like, we would drive up from Baltimore, right? Baltimore. We come up here. This highway here. And then we'd go all the way up to like Philly. And then once we hit Philly, then we would head south. And go to, instead of
5 days after the murder, that's...
going from Baltimore, which I don't know if it would have saved time, go to Baltimore to here, and then take the ferry over. But
the murder weapon is not in your house despite your theory you've been framed.
That's correct.
Let's talk about this. We've seen the picture of the killer.
I like the noise in the background that Bravo Airspace got on here for the airplane. Pretty nice.
It's either the hat or the shirt.
It's the shirt, right? And that shirt is not in your house, is it?
No.
If Metro or Compass or Rita or Cliff all wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the bright orange coat in your house?
Where is the bright orange coat though? Maybe he didn't actually kill the dude because they never found the. They did find the hat, I think, but I don't think they found the jacket.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, descend and maintain 16,000, altimeter 2965.
descending to maintain 16,000, altimeter 2965, American 881 Bravo, Kilo, heavy.
There's CSI garage, running full of DNA. Why is there no DNA?
I like how he just sighs like, I give up, man. Just fucking leave me alone already.
Do you have any answer for that?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. But one of the things that we do know is that prior to your arrest, you do in fact wash that car, correct?
The exterior only.
You still wash it, correct? And your testimony to this jury was, after Rita told me about the tweets about the car that I found so strikingly similar, I went out and washed my car.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, descend and maintain 7,000.
I meant reverse.
Descend and maintain 7,000, American 881 Bravo, Kilo, heavy.
You went out in that context, you started
Look
washing.
at one thing here real quick.
That's not your testimony.
I said that I watched all videos.
Great.
No, okay. I just wanted to see if they had a heads-up display option here, so I could set the
You
like
agree if you only watch
the
one
runway and shit. But
that might look a little suspicious.
you see me do it in other airplanes that have heads-up displays.
I don't know that I was planning things to be suspicious or not suspicious, sir.
Okay, but let's just be clear. You would agree with me, washing things can make evidence go away, isn't that right?
I would think any evidence would be inside of a vehicle, not on the outside, sir.
Sir, you'd be surprised.
This heads-up display to me is pointless.
I guess I would be surprised.
Like you really have to be like all up in this thing for it to like, I don't know. I don't want to be like this close.
Could it possibly be a mistake?
Like it'd be nice if you could see the whole thing from like where you would probably sit if you were like flying the plane.
In your phone. Going to be, oh, I hope I didn't ruin this. I'm going to be, we're going to be publishing Exhibit 354. Sure. Let's look at this. Well, let's do it. We'll do it this way. We're gonna, if we can just cue over for a second to the overhead. This is this extraction report that has a lot of images regarding Google Maps in your phone. Do you remember hearing testimony about this?
That's what I heard.
And the date on this is August 12th of 2022. Is that correct? That's when these files, is that right?
That's when it purports to. Okay.
Sir, you would agree with me. You don't actually have to go to the broad circle.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, contact Washington Center on 134.325.
Contacting Washington Center on 134.325, American 881 Bravo, Kilo,
2 to 3 weeks before Mr. Garman is killed.
If we can trust the date, yes.
Washington Center, American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, afternoon, descending from flight level 190 to 7,000.
I'm opening the folder that says Bronze Circle. If we can.
American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, Washington Center. Good afternoon, Philadelphia, altimeter 2968.
That's Jeff Garman's house, correct?
Altimeter 2968, American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy.
Because prior to this all happening, you had never been over into the house, correct?
Right.
You have no reason to be over at that house, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
You don't even know where he lives, because I'm sure Mr. Garman didn't give you his personal address.
That is absolutely
But we are way high for where we should be at right now.
When we go through these images, when we start getting to like the Google Maps data, like that's his house, right?
American 1 Bravo, Kilo Heavy. Contact Philadelphia approach on 123.8.
It looks like that is.
Switching to Philadelphia approach on 123.8, American 881 Bravo, Kilo, heavy.
Same thing. It's his house, right?
It appears to be.
Like if we look over here in the back, that's
take control of the comms here in a moment.
the very spot where Mr. Garrett
Philadelphia approach. American 881 Bravo.
Because we should be at like 3,000 feet right
Good
now.
afternoon, descending from 16,000 to 7,000.
that we see Mr. Garrett from that body cam, right? He's lying right there.
American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, Philadelphia approach. Good afternoon. Philadelphia altimeter 2968. Expect the ILS runway 27 right approach into Philadelphia.
How about there? Isn't that where Mr. Garrett was found by the police?
Philadelphia approach, American 1 Bravo Kilo. Can you give us a holding pattern so we can descend down to 3,000 feet? We're currently just passing 4,000 feet.
American 1 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, turn right, heading 170 vectors for the ILS runway 27 right approach. American 1 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, hold northeast of South Jersey Regional Airport, right turns, 1 minute legs. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Hold the northeast of South Jersey Regional, right turns, 1 minute legs. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy.
Might be a good idea to get a lay of the land, correct? Let me ask you that question one more time. You'd agree with me. You're planning on killing someone.
And then once the wings level off here, we'll do east completely. We'll do 90.
I don't know what you're talking about as far as where you want to, do this deed or whatever.
We'll do 80. We'll do 1 minute legs there.
Let's do it. You don't want to answer the question. We'll do it another way. Again, I objection here. Mr. Tellis, if you're planning on doing something, you want to prepare for it, correct?
And what you're planning to do.
Okay. How about your work? As a public administrator, did you prepare every day to go to work to be competent at what you're doing?
Yes.
Did you do that because it's important to do the job correctly?
Yes, sir.
And if the stakes are really big, you want to make sure you're super prepared?
American 1 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, turn right, heading 125. American 1 Bravo, Kilo Heavy, 6 miles from Martine. Turn right, heading 225, descend and maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 right approach.
Plus 2.
Right heading 125, American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy. Right heading 225. Descend and maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 right approach. American 881 Bravo, Kilo Heavy.
And I certainly did not put it there.
Okay, so we're just... Okay, sir. You're asking me to...
I don't know about this say intentions. You guys might not be up to showtime on this part yet.
The testimony of someone coming and said, I looked in his phone, and that stuff is there, correct?
All crew members, please check that everyone is seated and has fastened their seatbelts.
Correct? To extract, celebrate...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Philadelphia. At this time, we kindly ask you to turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Please ensure your tray tables are stowed away, your seats are in the full upright position, and your seatbelts are fastened. Our assigned gate is Terminal B1. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Celebrate extraction from the phone. So I object to this
We can move on. You heard from...
He said say right-hand turns.
He testified that there weren't any issues with this phone.
I don't think we should be making right-hand turns out here, but whatever.
He said that, I guess they tried to modify
That's it?
but he didn't say that it was possible.
That's all that was?
You got up on direct examination and you went through message.
All right, let's give it a minute. About 45 seconds left.
Messages that were on September 2nd.
I dispute.
Sure. You offered testimony to this jury about the timeline, correct?
Yes.
You went text by text and phone call by phone call and you explained things, right?
Right.
At no point did you say, oh, there's a problem, correct?
Right.
Wait, it looks good, doesn't it?
Sir, do you find it a little bit strange that when you find information that's helpful for you in your phone, you don't think there's a problem with it, but when there's damaging evidence in your phone, You believe maybe it's been hacked or compromised?
I do think that if someone was trying to frame me, that obviously they would leave the content that I made on the phone as well as whatever they decided to put on it. Yes.
All right, now let's turn to 65,
like
45.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different houses are being photographed, correct?
If that is truly what was on my phone, then supposedly it's true.
Okay. Here's a good example. In this image, there's a security camera being focused on in the image, correct?
That's what it appears to be, which brings up a question that I would have.
There's no question pending, and you're going to get a chance on redirect. You'll be able to say whatever you need to say.
Still have to arm our flaps. I mean, arm our speed brake, but we'll do that.
There's an image that isolates on a security camera for the next door neighbor, Mr. Garriman. It's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's one right there.
And
Wide slip indicator starting to come into play.
when you started out, what was your first job then? IT.
So flaps 1.
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, contact Philadelphia Tower on 118.5.
You described yourself as a
Switching to Philadelphia Tower on 118.5. American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy.
Right.
Fair to say you know your way around a cell phone, right?
Right.
You certainly know how to use Google Maps, right?
I think a lot of people do.
Anyone could use that, correct?
Right.
And you would consider yourself a fairly thorough person in your work as a public administrator, right?
Philadelphia Tower, American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy afternoon. Established on ILS for runway 27 right approach.
Will you cue over for 1 second? To the overhead?
Almost.
American 881 Bravo Kilo Heavy, Philadelphia Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 27 right.
In your phone, focusing on
We will in a moment.
Would you say that's a lot of detail?
About a minute.
If that was on my phone, I guess I would say yes.
Okay. And then let's talk about Popeye's thing, publishing 364. Do you remember
Got about
these
another
images?
30 seconds, then we're going to turn around towards the runway.
Okay.
I remember them being presented as being allegedly on my phone.
Right. The testimony was it was on your phone. You just don't believe you had anything to do with it, correct?
Again, I don't know that they were ever on my phone. I know that I did not take those photos.
Okay, so you're just denying what you heard.
I'm saying that whatever the testimony is, that it could have been placed on my phone, or who knows.
The testimony
Let's go flaps
was
5.
it was found on your phone, correct?
It was allegedly found
Turn
on
towards the runway.
So, we could cue over to the overhead, or the computer. We talked about being detail-oriented. You would agree this is numerous images from the same spot, correct?
It appears so.
And if we kind of look, I can't see through the monitor. I mean, we're looking at, that's a sedan, correct?
Yes.
Sedan, correct? Well, it's like a minivan, but it's gray
It's
in
like a
color, right?
crossover.
And that's gray in color, right?
Sure.
And that's a truck. It's kind of a whitish gray, right? Another gray car, correct?
Sure.
Another gray sedan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This one's a Honda, right?
Sure.
Or maybe that's not a Honda. I don't want to misspeak. That might be a Kia.
Looks like a Honda.
Okay, it's a Honda.
I think, or this is a Hyundai.
Or a Hyundai. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like an H.
Localizer.
Got an SUV here, but there's a lot of images here, correct?
Yes.
Oh, we can't do localizer, huh?
According to this report, we can queue over. Got 101, correct?
That's what it looks.
That's fairly, that's a lot of photos, correct?
It would be.
Looks like surveillance, doesn't it?
It looks like a stupid way to do surveillance.
Right, it looks kind of amateurish, doesn't it?
Right.
Not professional.
Right. I wouldn't see how that makes sense.
Alright, localizer and approach mode we can activate once we get the glide slope to show up.
For these, can you cue over to the overhead? Sir, what are we looking at?
It looks like it's an identification of a vehicle that is owned by Mr. Gurman.
It's a Honda, right?
Yes.
You know, from the photographs earlier, this Honda is gray, correct?
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to the color of the earlier testimony. Sorry.
No reason to dispute if I told you that the color of the car was gray, correct?
I don't.
And we saw in those images, lots of gray cars were getting snapped, correct?
Yeah, I saw a black one and a white one, but yes.
And you know what that program that's pulling up that information is, don't you?
That I do.
That's how you know.
Cabin crew takes these for landing.
That is proprietary software that is in fact used by the public
Okay,
administration's
Captain.
office,
Crew
correct?
takes seats for landing.
Gives the person at the public
Ladies and
administration's
gentlemen,
office
we are
the
now
ability
preparing for landing. Please return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you for your cooperation.
Approach mode activated.
What I remember correctly looking at this was it was looked up by address.
Armor brakes.
That's just one report. So let's look at this result. We can see.
What's the search term?
There's no question, sir. Okay. Take a look at registries.
That was pretty cool how kind of cleared out.
And
Pretty cool, man.
What's the first address associated with this?
P.O. Box.
Okay. And then we go to the next entry. What's the address associated with Mr. Garrett?
7216. The second one related to Mr. Gurman. There's a first one related to Mr. Gurman.
You're down.
That's the P.O. Box, which is current. The second one is 7216 Bronze Circle, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89. I can't read this.
Mr. Tellis, that's where Mr. Garrett lived, correct?
Yes.
That's where he was murdered, correct?
Yes.
There's our runways.
And this image of his personal information, his home address, is located inside your phone.
Again, I don't know that it is.
Okay, so we're just, again, we don't have to do
Oh,
this, but you're
it
just
did
not
put the
accepting
L number in here. That's cool.
But you'd agree with me
November
that from
881
just that
Bravo
bottom
Kilo.
there, that
Yep,
looks like
that's what it is in real life. At least that's what it said on the
Correct.
one website I use for that kind of stuff.
And again, this has more information about Mr. Garrett's cars, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is IDI Core, correct?
Right.
Software that is in your office, correct?
The office that Mr. Jappy visited, yes.
Okay. This is more, this is more IDI Core images, correct?
Appears so, yes, sir.
Let me just come out and ask you. This is your desk, isn't it?
It probably is.
Let me just ask you a question. That's your desk. But it can't be because I didn't kill Mr. Gehrman.
Let me ask
American 1 Bravo Kilo Heavy, winds 300 at 15, runway 27 right, clear to land.
That's 20.
Clear to land, runway 27 right, American 881 Bravo Kilo.
What was the search term to find that?
Well, one of the search terms was 7216 Bronze Circle, correct?
Can you show that to me?
Sure.
Laps full.
$72.16 Braun. You can cue over to the overhead. Everybody see that? Watch this better. So you can see that, right?
Yes, sir, I can.
And the date, the created time is 8/23/2022 at 6:05.
Looks good, man.
Correct?
Yes, that's what it reports to be.
Look real good.
That was a weekday, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was, because, you know.
Just one more thing. this wasn't converted into UTC time. So if we subtract 7 hours, that's at 11:05 a.m. in the morning on 8/23, correct?
Oh, I can't wait to end this flight so I can use the bathroom.
PDF viewer.
Oh my God, I gotta get.
It purports to be of that day.
You recall the testimony, well, no, you recall the testimony of mathematics, which said this was not converted, and when you converted, this search was conducted at 11 o'clock in the morning. You recall what I'm saying? I'm not asking if you agree with it.
All right, let's take manual.
I know that I
Oh, it does a land 3.
so I couldn't tell you definitively.
I'd like you to focus
Roll
on
out
my
flare.
question. Do you recall Mr.
I wonder how it does
saying
auto landing itself. Let's just
That's what he said.
check it out. Let's do auto
just
land.
to
Let's
be
go
clear,
back and
publishing 351.
sit back here, and we'll just let the airplane land.
That's a weekday. It's a Tuesday, correct?
Yes, sir.
We all know I can land an airplane. Let's just see how it does on auto land.
Coming into your office using
I mean, that's how I would typically be doing it. Like if I was just fucking around or doing just flying it just to fly it, I'd probably be doing auto land so I can sit back here and look at all the scenery.
as the public administrator.
That way you don't have to worry about setting up
into your office in the middle of
the replay tool and the other one that I have, Sky Dolly.
Does not say that it didn't happen, sir.
So the answer is you have an edict that said you're not allowed to do this, correct?
Man, this looks so good, doesn't it?
Or whatever, I don't know.
I mean, you would hope as the head of the department.
Good job, Microsoft. Good job, Lenovo.
I would have hoped, but you'd be surprised what happened in that office.
Hey, what stadium is that?
Right, the conspiracy.
Where the Eagles play? This is where the 76ers play. That's cool, man. Or that could be, well, that's probably where the Flyers play also.
We've heard from both your expert, Detective Jappy, that there was no outgoing messages from your phone between 8:48 a.m. and 2:05 p.m., correct? Okay. You mentioned, or at least we've kind of heard this
This looks good, man.
comment about, oh, maybe I was hacked. Just to be clear, you've never reported to anyone.
Look at the wing flex. Oh, Bravo Airspace. Bravo Airspace. Bravo Airspace. At the wing flex, man. I wish so many more airplanes would do that.
Any situation that
fucking dope.
I didn't have knowledge of whether it had been or not.
You've never reported that your phone was stolen, correct? Prior to 9/2.
That definitely did not happen.
Okay, you never reported that your house was broken into prior to 9/2.
I did not, no.
And there aren't any text messages on your phone complaining about being hacked, right?
Again, if I was hacked, I might not have known it.
Well, you know, and sometimes we notice
We definitely would have done a better job.
Emails to people like, oh, you know, ignore this email, I've been hacked, things like that, right?
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Right. But
Let me turn off say intentions real quick.
Correct.
No, and again, that doesn't necessarily mean it was.
That was fun, dude. That was real fun. I might be back tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I might, if I come back tonight, it's going to be like IFR training and maybe some more bush trip. We might just do that just to kind of chill for tonight. But yeah, man, that's about it, my friends. I will see you on the next episode of the Airplane Show. That was fun, man. Hit like, subscribe, and follow. And that's about it. I guess next time I got to put the actual light on. I'm just kidding. Anyways, see ya.